Chapter 1001. After Chen Shang swallowed the earth profound core, he felt as if he had swallowed a volcano, and a large amount of innate chi crazily erupted from his dantian. He activated the fire god method, and used the fastest speed possible to refine the innate chi brought by the earth profound core. If he wanted to step into the nirvana tribulation, he would have to condense a core seed, which would require a very large amount of innate chi to condense it. As long as the core seed appeared, the nirvana doom would descend, cultivate the nirvana doom, and acquire the power of giving, allowing the core seed to take shape. At that time, the core would be very small, and all he had to do was continuously press in the innate chi to improve the quality of the heavenly pill. Now, he had to pour the innate chi into the last formed heaven pellet of every beast statue, and let these heaven pellets grow to the great perfection stage, which also meant that he would have to cultivate the current heaven pellet to the extreme. The higher the quality of the heaven pellet, the more innate chi would be stored inside, and once the innate chi entered the heaven pellet, it would immediately become very strong. Ordinary immortals would only be able to condense one heaven pill, but Chen Shang was able to condense a dozen of them, and they were all under the 9 nirvana tribulation. The rainbow-colored flame thunderclouds had already floated above them, releasing a barrier that would prevent them from escaping. The rainbow-colored clouds were surging, brewing the largest robbery power. Although Duan Chong and Chen Shang did not go through the tribulation, they were here, so after Nirvana Doom sensed him, they would gather more energy while brewing robbery power. Right now, the ones undergoing the tribulation were Yun Xiaodao and the rest, but Chen Shang had already eaten the earth profound pill, so maybe by then, he would be able to catch up to his own Nirvana Doom. These brats are really crazy. Originally, this was the Nirvana Doom attracted by the 6 brats after they made their breakthroughs, but now they continue to forcefully break through, and it looks like they can still break through another level, and perhaps even attract another wave of robbery power. If Chen Shang also made a breakthrough, he would also attract another wave of robbery power, but that would only be a tribulation, a fusion of 3 tribulations. Chen Shang had also thought that the fusion of the 3 tribulations would happen, and the Nirvana Doom would definitely be very terrifying, but this was their way of survival through danger, because even if they were able to pass through the 5 elements heavenly fire and tribulation, they would definitely wake up the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, and at that time, the weak Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would definitely kill them regardless of everything. But if it was the fusion of the 3 tribulations, then all the energy extracted would belong to the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Even if Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was woken up, his power would be weakened a lot. At that time, Chen Zhang's strength would also increase by a lot. In another 5 days, the heavenly lightning fire tribulations would descend. If Chen Shang and the others broke through during this period, they might even attract 2 sets of robbery powers that were even more powerful. The heavenly thunder vortex had already stopped absorbing DTN's energy, which was very surprising. The Heaven Thunder Purgatory was constantly absorbing DTN's energy through this enormous vortex, so why did it suddenly stop absorbing? Furthermore, it had turned into a rainbow vortex, and although the multicolored light was beautiful, it made people feel that it was very dangerous. In a tall stone tower in Heaven Thunder City, many people walked to the window of a hall and looked at the rainbow-colored cyclone that covered the sky. LV Qinlian was also very worried about Chen Shang. Chen Shang was a very good partner, she said in a low voice. What happened inside? Huang Jintian frowned and said, seems like this is the 5 elements heavenly lightning flame, one of the 10 great tribulations of Nirvana Doom. It will take 5 days and 5 nights to prepare. The Peach Blossom Imperial Land, Chen Martial Continent, Demon Charming Association and the other allied forces were all gathered together. They were waiting here for the 3 realms talk to begin, in order to prevent sneak attacks from the Feng clan, so that they would not be trapped inside the tower. This way, even if there were experts attacking them, they would have to pay a heavy price. Several months have passed, and they are still able to endure the heavenly tribulation. This is good news, Wu Kaming laughed. That's right, it's impossible for Heaven Thunder Devil Lord to receive this kind of Nirvana Doom. Only they can do that, but the 5 elements thunder fire tribulations are very powerful and make people uneasy, Huang Jintian said as he nodded. The people outside did not know what happened to Chen Shang and the others in Heaven Thunder Purgatory, so many people thought that they would be killed by the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord from the start. Lu Menger and Dongfang Xinyue were both Chen Zhang's female slaves. With master-servant contract, they could feel that Chen Shang had not died yet. Lian Yingxiao shook his head and sighed, I hope that Ming Dong can live on. Yao Shumai asked, Senior Huang, what should we do if Dragon Subduing School's leader appeared in our midst? Huang Jintian chuckled, if Dragon Subduing School's leader will really appear, then you will know how to deal with him. He is an extraordinary fellow. In short, my super martial school won't have any designs on Dragon Subduing School. I don't want my clan to be exterminated. Hearing Huang Jintian's words, everyone was shocked. They never thought that Huang Jintian would actually know Dragon Subduing School from the Dragon Subduing School. She could not see through Huang Jintian. Although the outside world believed that Huang Jintian's strength was only that, but Huang Jintian was now the leader of their small alliance. Huang Jintian knew that Chen Shang was Dragon Subduing School of the Dragon Subduing School. He did not know how strong Chen Shang was right now, but he could still kill people like the Purple Moon anyway. If he really appears, you will know by then. Huang Jintian looked at the gigantic rainbow-colored cyclone in the distance. Chen Shang was still inside, and he did not know whether Chen Shang could make it in time to participate in the Three Realms talk. Ji Yu Dongchen pondered for a long time before saying, I guess this Dragon Subduing School must be a dragon extinction that cultivates very powerful, which is why he has such a name. Look, the evil dragon in the evil dragon graveyard was subdued by him, and the dragon vein underground is his as well. Chen Shang glared at him. Chen Shang was his disciple, so according to the seniority of the disciples, he could still go to the Dragon Subduing School to become an elder or something in the future. Of course, he did not know that there was currently a group of brats that were acting as elders in the Dragon Subduing School. On this day, the entire Heaven Thunder City was shaken because the great clan elder had appeared here. However, after appearing for a moment, he had disappeared without a trace. Back then, when the various rankers had surrounded Evil Dragon Graveyard, Chen Shang had used the White Tiger's appearance to trick them. Now that the White Tiger could not stay in White Tiger Profound Realm and had come out to walk around, it was recognized as such. With the White Tiger's intelligence, he quickly figured out what was going on and secretly scolded Chen Shang for using his appearance to flaunt and deceive. He sensed that people were eyeing him and immediately hid himself. Chapter 1002. The sudden appearance of the great clan elder of the Dragon Subduing School caught the attention of many big shots of the powers. However, they did not really welcome the arrival of the Dragon Subduing School as most of them wanted to take note of him anyway. Soon enough, he found out about Chen Zhang's situation. Right now, he could only wait for Chen Shang to come out as he knew a lot about that Heaven Thunder Purgatory. However, he was not sure if Chen Shang could still come out. Inside the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, the sky was filled with rainbow-colored clouds and the robbery power was frantically brewing. All of the power it had drawn came from the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, and in this way, it could effectively weaken the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. However, if the robbery power descended, Chen Shang and the others would have to pay a heavy price. If they did not do this, there would be no way for them to escape. Furthermore, Chen Shang had a very high chance of passing this 5 elements heavenly fire tribulation. 5 days had passed and the robbery power did not descend. Instead, it continued to brew, because Yun Xiaodao and the others followed Chen Zhang's instructions, compressed the innate qi to its limit, allowing them to hold more innate qi in their dantians. They ate the earth profound pills that Chen Shang gave them, and relied on the large amount of compressed innate qi to surpass their limits. They thought that once they reached the limit, they would need to cross a Nirvana Doom bottleneck to continue increasing their strength. But this time, due to the immense pressure, they had no choice but to take on another type of challenge, an unprecedented challenge. And now they had succeeded. They had originally been able to feel the time when the Nirvana Doom had descended, but now it was suddenly delayed, and it was even for 10 days. This made them even more surprised, as the 5 elements heavenly fire's lightning tribulation had already caused them a lot of pressure, let alone now. Yun Xiaodao and the others were looking at Chen Shang, but Chen Shang still had his eyes closed, and was still refining that earth profound core. Elder Brother Shen, if I were to make a breakthrough, what would happen to the Nirvana Doom that I would attract? The 6 of us only attracted them twice, plus Elder Brother Shen, the abnormal alchemist, and Elder Duan. Fuck, can this even be called a peerless great calamity? Yun Xiaodao muttered. The last great calamity that Chen Shang had experienced was caused by a few thousand people, but this time, although there were few, it was a very rare opportunity to do so. The Nirvana Doom that they had to face was probably not as powerful as the tribulation that Chen Shang had to face. Seeing that Chen Zhang's body was trembling violently and the multicolored light was shining brightly, emitting a heat that was even hotter than the rainbow clouds in the sky, Duan Chong and the others' hearts shrunk. After consuming the earth profound pill there, Chen Shang had already activated multiple divine arts to swiftly refine it, And now that he had formed a heavenly core from none of the beast statue, it meant that he could activate Nirvana Doom. Alright, looks like your Nirvana Doom will be much stronger this time. Each of you have 20 Relive Dan-s. Chen Shang took out a jade box and gave the Relive Dan to Zhu Rong and the others. Chen Shang had the Relive Dan's medicinal ingredients, but he was still unable to refine them. He had already consumed quite a bit, and after distributing them to Yun Xiaodao and the rest, he only had around 50 pills left. And the 5 elements Profound Dan, 20 pills per person, used to recover the innate qi. These pills were useless against Duan Chong, but Chen Shang had still given him 2 Eternal Dan-s. These were for saving lives, so whether or not they could successfully pass through the Nirvana Doom would still depend on Duan Chong. The reason why we were able to survive the last tribulation is because a group of experts joined hands to resist the robbery power, while I was only able to survive by hiding by their side. Old man Duan is very strong, so it shouldn't be a problem for him to hold on to the robbery power, but that will cause him to lose a lot of energy. Quote. Chen Shang now began to explain his plan to deal with Nirvana Doom. So in the beginning, we shouldn't let Elder Duan go, we should block the robbery power and protect him. We cannot let old man Duan suffer any injuries. No matter what, we must endure until the strongest part of the robbery power. Quote. The robbery power is usually the most concentrated in the end, and it is also very strong. Chen Shang learned from his experience during the tribulation. As everyone knows, there is one more benefit to Nirvana Doom, and that is to test one's strength while at the same time refining oneself in all aspects. Although the robbery power in the previous stage is also very strong, I feel that we can still endure it. Zhu Rong and the others all nodded. Since the last robbery power was the strongest, they wouldn't be able to block it, so they might as well give it to Duan Ling Tian. After we experience our previous stages of Nirvana Doom, we would definitely be severely injured, but when Elder Duan is defending me, we can use this opportunity to restore our condition to its peak, so that Elder Duan won't be unable to withstand it. Then, we can buy Elder Duan some time so that he can use the Eternal Dan-s to recover. If Chen Shang didn't have so many high-class pellets, he definitely wouldn't have such confidence. This time, not only did they have to deal with the Nirvana Doom, they also had to deal with the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord escaping the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. Elder Duan, this time it's all up to you. Chen Zhang's expression was gloomy. Duan Chong nodded his head. If I can succeed this time, I might be able to make a breakthrough. It's been a while since I've seen how Nirvana Doom are like. The rainbow light became stronger, and the released robbery power became even more oppressive, making people unable to breathe. What was astonishing was that there was actually a layer of purple-red clouds above the rainbow clouds. Who knew what kind of power it was? Is that all you can do for the third tribulation? Yun Xiaodao frowned. It feels a little weak. When Duan Chong saw the purple-red cloud, his face immediately turned ugly. That purple-red cloud isn't a cloud, it's an energy that was once known as the Grain Force back in the primordial era. Grain Force. Hearing those 2 words, Chen Zhang's face became even uglier than Duan Chong's, his entire body perspiring in sweat. What is the Grain Force? When Zhu Rong saw the expressions of Chen Shang and Duan Chong, he was shocked. You two, hold on. Chen Shang said. You should all know that the array needs spirit grain to be constructed, and when we set up the array, only the spirit grain would be carved, using the spar's power, or the energy and some other things to activate the spirit grain. But there is a kind of power in the world that is most suitable for activating spirit grain S. It can completely unleash the power of these spirit grain S, and that is the Grain Force. Quote. This is also the kind of energy that many formation masters dream of. Right now, using all sorts of methods to activate the spirit grain, we can at most release half of the spirit grain's power, but if there is this kind of grain force, then it is fully utilized and the formation it sets up is extremely powerful. Su Yun said in a low voice. Duan Chong nodded his head. As the patriarch of the Duan clan, he was naturally well versed in array formations. They had to frequently break array when robbing tombs, and also had to find a suitable terrain when searching tombs. Chapter 1003. Seeing that Chen Shang was relatively more proficient in array formations, Duan Chong was surprised. Chen Shang knew so much already, at such a young age, that it was extremely rare. Many people had lived for a long time, yet they were still unable to learn as much as Chen Shang. Then what does the appearance of the Grain Force mean? Yun Xiaodao looked at the purple-red clouds in the sky, which were slowly merging into the rainbow-colored clouds. Chen Shang looked at Elder Duan and softly sighed. This means that in the great calamity that we face, a natural great formation may appear. In order to strengthen this great formation, the grain force has appeared. Very soon, we will be able to see a few spirit grain in the rainbow clouds in the sky. They will then form a great array and then, the great calamity will befall. Quote. Lian Mingdong asked, so that means that the array is very powerful. What kind of person would he be? Quote. Chen Shang and Duan Chong shook their heads. Duan Chong said, I don't know yet, but it's very possible that it's an offensive great formation. Perhaps the five-colored lightning fire is already the strongest robbery power, which is why a grain force appeared and a nature formation was constructed. Doing so would require a large amount of energy to support it and would still consume a lot of power from the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, which would be impossible for the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord to stop all of this even if she were to wake up now. Duan Chong said. Outside of Heaven Thunder City, many people could already tell that the colossal heavenly thunder vortex had turned into a multicolored vortex because someone was crossing Nirvana Doom inside, attracting the five elements sky, fire, lightning and fire tribulation. Now, many people could guess that Chen Shang and the others inside were not dead, and had even invited the five elements desolation lightning fire. The avalon of five elements thunder and fire tribulation rarely appeared, unless there were thousands of people gathered here, and coincidentally, there were quite a few who would need to undergo it. But even then, it would at most amount to an unparalleled tribulation of 1,000 people, and the avalon of five elements thunder and fire tribulation still rarely appeared. The avalon of five elements lightning and fire tribulation had taken 5 days and 5 nights to brew, but 6 days had already passed and the rainbow clouds had not dispersed. This caused even more people to guess that the Nirvana Doom crossing was only a day, and the rainbow clouds had not dissipated yet, so everyone believed that the robbery power was still in the process of brewing. Even if they gather more people together, they won't be able to attract such a great calamity, even though there's a powerful old man by their side. Ji Yu Dongchen looked at Huang Jintian in puzzlement, wanting to see what Huang Jintian knew. According to what the Purple Moon Imperial Land people said, the old fellow beside them is very strong, his strength is comparable to the little demon empress. Yao Shumai said, when Duan Chong made his move, they were not there, and at that time, the people from Feng Clan, Purple Moon Imperial Land and Flying Immortal School had all seen it. But that still won't do. Since ancient times, this kind of thing has happened quite a few times in Heaven Realm. I was careless once and entered the range of a junior's 9 Nirvana tribulations. The demon empress shook her head. Chen Shang is an alchemist, so the Nirvana Doom he has to face is very strong. Furthermore, he is a very heaven-defying person, there is a possibility that they might have something up their sleeves. It might even be possible that they dragged that Heaven Thunder Devil Lord along with them when they were undergoing their tribulation. Hua Shangyu said. If it's about the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, it's really possible. Huang Jintian nodded. The people outside were guessing whether Chen Shang and the others would return alive. Those ancient powers, who had sworn that Chen Shang would not stand a chance, were now worried now. They had initially seen a very powerful old man by Chen Zhang's side and were very familiar with him. The rainbow cloud had been around for 10 days. At this moment, Chen Shang and the others could see the purple-red spirit grain continuously appearing from the high-up clouds. Chen Shang and Duan Chong watched intently. They wanted to comprehend something from within, since this was a naturally formed great formation. The 5 elements are incomplete, and lack of metal. There is only wood, water, fire, and earth. Duan Chong said as he furrowed his brows. There's ice in the water, there's wind and thunder, there's fire and thunder, earth and wind, and there's even a group of spirit grain with many different types of energies fused together. This formation is very simple, but it's also very powerful, Chen Shang said. Duan Chong nodded his head. Although Chen Shang was simple, that was only for formation masters, so it was actually not simple at all. If one did not have a lot of knowledge on spirit grain as a foundation, it would be difficult to discern. Why is there no gold? Gold is also one of the stronger of the 5 types of energy. Chen Shang asked doubtfully. That's right, there should be, adding a few spirit grain to the mix, could it be that something went wrong? Duan Chong was also very suspicious about this. As the last few spirit grains were drawn at the same time, the grain force fused with the rainbow clouds, providing the spirit grain with immense power. A large piece of rainbow cloud suddenly stirred crazily. In Heaven Thunder Purgatory, the entire land was trembling, as though it was being pressed down by some unknown force, causing cracks to appear on the vast land of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. It's coming, Chen Shang roared. It was also at this time that the suppressive power of the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord had disappeared. They could leave the black lava pool. Old Duan is in the middle, let's surround him. Chen Shang said. Even though they were not suppressed by the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's power anymore, they were sealed up by the robbery power. Chen Shang and the others formed a circle, with Duan Chong standing in the middle. He would also make preparations, in case Chen Shang and the others could not hold on and took action. Earth Fire. Chen Shang saw a gigantic boulder that looked like a continent descending from the sky. It looked like a giant burning star. This boulder was flat, and had suddenly appeared from within the large multicolored cloud. The flames on the boulder burned through the sky, and the speed of the fire was extremely fast. As a result of the huge impact, it caused the entire ground that Chen Shang and the others were on to collapse, causing them to have no choice but to float. I'll do it, Xiao Chou roared. His entire body was shining with a golden light. Looking like a teenager, his body suddenly swelled. In the blink of an eye, he looked like a 30,000-meter tall mountain. When Chen Shang and the others saw him, they were stunned. Xiao Chou's current appearance was like a giant who was carrying the sky. Haha, this is a secret that no one in great strength race knows. Xiao Chou laughed loudly, his voice sounded like thunder. The current Xiao Chou was not an illusory image. When he became so big, his body would be made of flesh and blood, and at the same time, would contain an extremely huge amount of power. His huge fist released a golden light, as if he was holding a scorching sun in his hand. Chapter 1004. Isn't it just a relatively large stone? Wasn't it just a little bit more exuberant? How powerful is it? Xiao Chou's thunderous voice echoed in the sky and earth, shaking the earth. The boulder that could destroy a continent dropped down at an extremely fast speed. The giant Xiao Chou, who was already 30 kilometers tall, brandished his fist that carried the might of an invincible god, as he welcomed the gigantic flint stone. Although Xiao Chou had grown larger, it was still insignificant compared to that huge boulder. At the very least, even if Chen Shang and the others fled at their fastest speed, they would still be unable to escape the range of that huge boulder. Boom! When the huge fist collided with the huge rock, the sky shook and the earth shook. The rainbow-colored cloud in the sky tumbled even more crazily, and the flames on the gigantic fire stone became even hotter, while Xiao Chou's divine fist had already fallen into the middle of the rock. From the looks of it, the gigantic fire stone was like the sky, but the giant Xiao Chou looked extremely small in comparison. Break for me, Xiao Chou bellowed. The fist in his hand suddenly flashed, and a crack appeared on that sky-sized fire stone. Inside the crack, there was a trace of gold. Xiao Chou seemed to have gone mad at the moment, as he punched out with his other fist, hitting the giant boulder that was falling back and forth. Roo! Rumbling sounds came one after another, and the gigantic boulder was smashed apart by Xiao Chou's fist just now. The shattered pieces were very huge, but they were also smashed into pieces by Xiao Chou's chaotic fists, becoming gigantic mountains that scattered in all directions along with the force of the explosion. Xiao Chou was already out of breath, and quickly returned to his original look. He had exhausted a lot of energy, and looking at his haggard appearance, it looked like he had been squeezed dry. Hurry and recover, Chen Shang nodded at Xiao Chou. Although the terrifying killing move that Xiao Chou had hidden for a short period of time was extremely destructive, it had become extremely powerful. If Xiao Chou were to mature in the future and use this method to attack other people's mountain gate, who would be able to stop him? Now, Chen Shang finally understood why Great Strength race had been able to shake the entire Imperial Dragon race, causing him to hate the entire Great Strength race. No matter how big a dragon was, in the eyes of these giants, the Great Strength race was like a small worm. This was the true power of the Great Strength race. What's next? Yun Xiaodao asked. Right now, their pressure was extremely great. Their first shot was already an outrageously large stone. If it was in the outside world, it would be enough to destroy a Chen Martial continent, let alone the terrifying flames above. It's fire thunder, who's going up? Chen Shang immediately replied. I'll do it. A layer of blue scales appeared on his body, and behind him, appeared a pair of fiery red, gigantic wings that were as sturdy as diamond. This time, Teng Ying did not become a Kylan Thunder Eagle. Instead, he released his scales and protected his body. At the same time, he also released his powerful wings, looking like a mighty youth in armor, rushing towards the battlefield to kill. The Sky Fire Lightning descended. This was Sky Fire. Its power was as strong as the Heaven Fire that Chen Shang used all his power to push, and it also brought with it a gold lightning, which instantly struck down, shaking the entire area, pressuring the heaven and earth. Tang Ying also turned into a bolt of lightning, shooting out from the ground. In an instant, he crashed into the lightning, which burst out with a strong gold light, enveloping the entire area, and the burst of energy caused the ground to split into pieces. "It's here again," Chen Shang shouted. He had just blocked a bolt of heavenly fire lightning and was sent flying by the force, but now, another bolt had fallen. He immediately used his lightning speed to meet it head-on, punching out towards the heavenly fire lightning and extinguishing the momentum of the heavenly fire lightning. "There's more." Tang Ying did not attack once, but only used his strongest power. It was only 2 attacks, and he felt like he was going to die under the continuous attacks of another rancor. "I'll break it." Tang Ying flapped his wings, and faced the few strikes of the violent thunderbolts. Chen Shang and the others were gathered together, so if the lightning attacks were to fall from the sky, one person would be able to block them. "Bald Eagle, let me help." Xv Weilong suddenly jumped, and shot straight towards the Sky Fire Thunder, who was chopping down from the sky. His speed was not slower than Tang Ying at all. Pow! Xv Weilong and Tang Ying had actually received 2 bolts of Sky Fire Lightning respectively. Xv Weilong was a human, the strength of his body was not as strong as Tang Ying's, and the skin on his fists had already been split open, releasing waves of mist. All of the power of the fire and earth has been consumed on that huge boulder. And right now, the sky fire and thunder should be created using the thunder and lightning method. Just as Chen Shang finished speaking, another wave of wild thunder came crashing down, followed by an extremely terrifying pressure. A black hole suddenly appeared in the middle of the rainbow cloud, where a large amount of terrifying energy was being released from. Attack! Yun Xiaodao, Zhu Rong and Lian Mingdong all leapt into the air to stop the attack of the heavenly fire lightning bolts. The secret manual's heavenly lightning fire poured down like a waterfall. It was as though a hole had appeared in a world that contained the thunder power. All of its strength surged out. Yun Xiaodao and the others joined hands, and displayed extremely powerful strength. Although all of them had varying degrees of injuries on their bodies, they could not retreat at all, and all of the blood in their bodies was boiling, as they viewed this Nirvana Doom as a great enemy. 2 hours of crazy sky fire thunder had beaten them all up until their bodies were charred black, and fresh blood dripped down, but they still stood straight and resisted the ferocious sky fire thunder. Chen Shang, Duan Chong and the currently recovering Xiao Chou watched intently from below. They were not affected by the sky fire thunder. Following the disappearance of the final clap of heavenly fire lightning, the world became quiet. Zhu Rong and the other 3 were already heavily injured, and most of the energy in their bodies had already been used up. "Eat the relive Dan and leave the rest to me," Chen Shang said. Then he stared at the black hole in the middle of the rainbow cloud, which was the heavy center of the array. The great natural formation constructed by the mysterious grain force was extremely powerful. If it was Chen Shang alone, it would not be easy for him to defend against the 2 waves of robbery power. What will happen next? Chen Shang did not dare to let his guard down. It's a heavenly lightning flame, and it's even stronger than before. Duan Chong's expression changed greatly. "You must be careful, the sky fire thunder this time is different from last time." Chen Shang had already felt that mysterious and terrifying power. It's a lightning formation formed by the grain force. Chen Shang suddenly saw a purple-red array that was flickering with lightning descend. Mother CKER, why would such a thing appear? Chen Zhang's expression was very ugly. This lightning array also had a golden red thread connecting it with the 5-colored cloud. The 5-colored cloud would provide power to the lightning array, causing it to become even more terrifying. Chapter 1005. Facing this mysterious and terrifying lightning array, Chen Shang could not dodge it, or else the people below would be affected. Yun Xiaodao and the others had previously resisted a lot of robbery powers, so they were heavily injured. Originally, Chen Shang thought that the grain force had drawn out a big array and hid inside the rainbow cloud. When the lightning array appeared, the attacking speed wasn't very fast. It could even be said to be leisurely smashing towards him, and there wasn't any very strong aura around. However, Chen Shang felt a very huge pressure when facing this lightning array. There were many profound ancient spirit grains inside the lightning array. It contained the power of great Tao that caused people to tremble. Chen Zhang's fists filled with dragon power, all of them struck towards the incoming lightning array. The power that exploded out while rushing caused the air to tremble. A pair of fierce dragon fists struck the center of the lightning array ruthlessly, but an astonishing scene happened. Chen Shang did not destroy the lightning array, and when his strong fists made contact with the lightning array, the berserk dragon power inside immediately dissipated. The moment he touched the lightning array, he felt as if he had hit a soft blanket. The lightning array paused for a moment, then continued to move forward, its speed suddenly increasing as it entered Chen Zhang's body. So terrifying, Chen Shang exclaimed. Do you want it to explode inside your body? Duan Chong saw something. His words scared Yun Xiaodao and the others so much that their faces turned green. They could feel the power of the lightning formation. If it were to enter his body and explode inside, it would be extremely dangerous. Chen Shang did not answer. His body was currently trembling, he was currently channeling his strongest energy to seal the lightning formation that was drilling into his body. Although Chen Zhang's reaction was fast, the lightning formation still started to wreak havoc in his body. Ah! Chen Shang screamed in pain, his chest suddenly exploded, causing a blood hole to burst out, a terrifying ray of purple lightning burst out from inside, the purple lightning streaked across the sky, as though there was a purple crack in the sky, the terrifying thunder power caused people to tremble. This was not the end yet. Although the lightning array had exploded inside Chen Zhang's body and a large portion of the thunder power had been forced out by Chen Shang, there were still many remnants of power wreaking havoc in his body. Chen Shang was in so much pain that he started to sweat profusely. He roared in his heart, and activated the few divine arts he cultivated, coordinating with each other to control the flow of the energy in his body, and then completely absorbing the grain force which was wreaking havoc in his body. The violent thunder power had all been forced out by him, and what was left was only the grain force. It could be said that his flesh had been burnt by the lightning array just now and fused into his body. Then, using his mystical power, he opened the big formation and absorbed the outside energy to wreak havoc. And the others were extremely worried. They originally thought that Chen Shang would immediately take out some top-grade spirit medicine to recover from, but what shocked them was, not only did Chen Shang not take any pellets, he even healing the wound himself at an extremely fast speed. Be careful, it's coming again, Duan Chong shouted, and was about to attack. I can handle it, Chen Shang shouted. Then, he opened his mouth wide and sucked with force, creating a huge suction force that even the rainbow clouds in the sky turned into a tornado. Chen Shang had fused the devouring magic Kung Fu and the dragon absorbing water together, evolving it into a dragon swallowing the sea, which was used for a large amount of devouring. Come in, Chen Shang said as he permeated his divine power into the black hole at the center of the rainbow cloud. He sensed many grain force and then increased his strength, intending to devour all of the grain force. The lightning array that flew out was swallowed by him. Following that, an explosive sound came out, and a purple lightning bolt shot out from Chen Zhang's mouth. This time, the lightning array did not harm him again. Duan Chong was startled. If it was him, dealing with the lightning array formed by the grain force would definitely take a lot of effort, but Chen Shang actually swallowed it in one gulp. Chen Shang had even sucked out a purple-red vapor from the black hole in the rainbow cloud. It was the grain force that had been hidden in the clouds before. Chen Shang was unable to refine these grain force, and he did not plan to refine them either. This was a power that was specially used to set up the array. These grain force were all compressed by him like magical corruption gas, and were stored in a corner of his dantian. There were a lot of grain force, and from seeing Chen Shang frantically devouring them for so long, they knew it was true. This made Duan Chong and the others gape with their mouths agape. If he had devoured quite a few grain force, perhaps he would have been able to weaken their nirvana doom this time around. Just as Chen Shang was about to devour for an hour, a muffled sound came from within the rainbow-colored clouds. Multicolored light flashed and the clouds moved. In the midst of his surprise, Chen Zhang's reaction was fast and quick. Bang! With a loud sound, the five-colored lightning was dispersed by Chen Shang, and one of Chen Zhang's arms was also full of cracks. The sleeves on his arm were also shattered, revealing streaks of blood all over. It's about time for me to take action, Duan Chong's face sank. It was obvious that the five elements tribulation lightning was extremely terrifying. Elder Duan, wait, I feel like we can still hold on for a while. Just as Chen Shang had finished speaking, a blinding multicolored light suddenly exploded above his head, and the entire ground seemed to be covered by this light, causing people to feel as if they were in a space filled with multicolored light, and the center of the light was extremely glaring, making them unable to look directly at it. Rumble. The rumbling thunder came one after another. The momentum was terrifying, shaking the world. A large multicolored cloud suddenly shot out a multicolored lightning. The power was all directed at Chen Shang, causing people to feel that this rainbow cloud was like an enraged beast, frantically venting its anger at Chen Shang. In the blink of an eye, it had all landed on Chen Zhang's body, scaring them so much that their faces paled. This was because this terrifying five-colored lightning seemed to be able to destroy everything in the world. In that moment, Chen Shang truly thought that he was done for. He had swallowed a large amount of grain force, causing the rainbow-colored clouds to become angered, but as the countless five elements tribulation lightning struck over, a gold light suddenly appeared on his body. A powerful golden set of armor appeared, with an imposing manner. Even though he was protected by the profound WU diamond armor, he was still struck down by the countless five elements tribulation lightning and smashed heavily onto the ground. Chapter 1006. Facing this mysterious and terrifying lightning array, Chen Shang could not dodge it, or else the people below would be affected. Yun Xiaodao and the others had previously resisted a lot of robbery powers, so they were heavily injured. Originally, Chen Shang thought that the grain force had drawn out a big array and hid inside the rainbow cloud. When the lightning array appeared, the attacking speed wasn't very fast. It could even be said to be leisurely smashing towards him, and there wasn't any very strong aura around. However, Chen Shang felt a very huge pressure when facing this lightning array. There were many profound ancient spirit grains inside the lightning array. It contained the power of great Tao that caused people to tremble. Chen Zhang's fists filled with dragon power, all of them struck towards the incoming lightning array. The power that exploded out while rushing caused the air to tremble. A pair of fierce dragon fists struck the center of the lightning array ruthlessly, but an astonishing scene happened. Chen Shang did not destroy the lightning array, and when his strong fists made contact with the lightning array, the berserk dragon power inside immediately dissipated. The moment he touched the lightning array, he felt as if he had hit a soft blanket. The lightning array paused for a moment, then continued to move forward, its speed suddenly increasing as it entered Chen Zhang's body. So terrifying, Chen Shang exclaimed. Do you want it to explode inside your body? Duan Chong saw something. His words scared Yun Xiaodao and the others so much that their faces turned green. They could feel the power of the lightning formation. If it were to enter his body and explode inside, it would be extremely dangerous. Chen Shang did not answer. His body was currently trembling. He was currently channeling his strongest energy to seal the lightning formation that was drilling into his body. Although Chen Zhang's reaction was fast, the lightning formation still started to wreak havoc in his body. Ah! Chen Shang screamed in pain. His chest suddenly exploded, causing a blood hole to burst out. A terrifying ray of purple lightning burst out from inside. The purple lightning streaked across the sky, as though there was a purple crack in the sky. The terrifying thunder power caused people to tremble. This was not the end yet. Although the lightning array had exploded inside Chen Zhang's body and a large portion of the thunder power had been forced out by Chen Shang, there were still many remnants of power wreaking havoc in his body. Chen Shang was in so much pain that he started to sweat profusely. He roared in his heart, and activated the few divine arts he cultivated, coordinating with each other to control the flow of the energy in his body, and then completely absorbing the grain force which was wreaking havoc in his body. The violent thunder power had all been forced out by him, and what was left was only the grain force. It could be said that his flesh had been burnt by the lightning array just now and fused into his body. Then, using his mystical power, he opened the big formation and absorbed the outside energy to wreak havoc. And the others were extremely worried. They originally thought that Chen Shang would immediately take out some top-grade spirit medicine to recover from, but what shocked them was, not only did Chen Shang not take any pellets, he even healing the wound himself at an extremely fast speed. Be careful, it's coming again, Duan Chong shouted, and was about to attack. I can handle it, Chen Shang shouted. Then, he opened his mouth wide and sucked with force, creating a huge suction force that even the rainbow clouds in the sky turned into a tornado. Chen Shang had fused the devouring magic Kung Fu and the dragon absorbing water together, evolving it into a dragon swallowing the sea, which was used for a large amount of devouring. Come in, Chen Shang said as he permeated his divine power into the black hole at the center of the rainbow cloud. He sensed many grain force and then increased his strength, intending to devour all of the grain force. The lightning array that flew out was swallowed by him. Following that, an explosive sound came out, and a purple lightning bolt shot out from Chen Zhang's mouth. This time, the lightning array did not harm him again. Duan Chong was startled. If it was him, dealing with the lightning array formed by the grain force would definitely take a lot of effort, but Chen Shang actually swallowed it in one gulp. Chen Shang had even sucked out a purple-red vapor from the black hole in the rainbow cloud. It was the grain force that had been hidden in the clouds before. Chen Shang was unable to refine these grain force, and he did not plan to refine them either. This was a power that was specially used to set up the array. These grain force were all compressed by him like magical corruption gas, and were stored in a corner of his dantian. There were a lot of grain force, and from seeing Chen Shang frantically devouring them for so long, they knew it was true. This made Duan Chong and the others gape with their mouths agape. If he had devoured quite a few grain force, perhaps he would have been able to weaken their nirvana doom this time around. Just as Chen Shang was about to devour for an hour, a muffled sound came from within the rainbow-colored clouds. Multicolored light flashed and the clouds moved. In the midst of his surprise, Chen Zhang's reaction was fast and quick. Bang! With a loud sound, the 5-colored lightning was dispersed by Chen Shang, and one of Chen Zhang's arms was also full of cracks. The sleeves on his arm were also shattered, revealing streaks of blood all over. It's about time for me to take action, Duan Chong's face sank. It was obvious that the 5 elements tribulation lightning was extremely terrifying. Elder Duan, wait, I feel like we can still hold on for a while. Just as Chen Shang had finished speaking, a blinding multicolored light suddenly exploded above his head, and the entire ground seemed to be covered by this light, causing people to feel as if they were in a space filled with multicolored light, and the center of the light was extremely glaring, making them unable to look directly at it. Rumble. The rumbling thunder came one after another. The momentum was terrifying, shaking the world. A large multicolored cloud suddenly shot out a multicolored lightning. The power was all directed at Chen Shang, causing people to feel that this rainbow cloud was like an enraged beast, frantically venting its anger at Chen Shang. In the blink of an eye, it had all landed on Chen Zhang's body, scaring them so much that their faces paled. This was because this terrifying 5-colored lightning seemed to be able to destroy everything in the world. In that moment, Chen Shang truly thought that he was done for. He had swallowed a large amount of grain force, causing the rainbow-colored clouds to become angered, but as the countless 5 elements tribulation lightning struck over, a gold light suddenly appeared on his body. A powerful golden set of armor appeared, with an imposing manner. Even though he was protected by the profound WU diamond armor, he was still struck down by the countless 5 elements tribulation lightning and smashed heavily onto the ground. 3. Share, proofread, report, be the first to comment. Pipe, enter your comment here, log in with. If he did not have the profound WU diamond armor protecting him, in that instant just now, Chen Shang would have been hacked to the point where not even dregs would remain. This great calamity was not as simple as they had imagined. Although they were all very strong, it was not something they could deal with so easily. The robbery power locked onto Chen Shang and exploded out with a burst of multicolored light. Numerous multicolored bolts of lightning descended from the rainbow-colored cloud like a rain, all striking towards Chen Shang. Duan Chong waved his hand, and a black crack suddenly appeared on top of Chen Shang. The extremely terrifying 5-element tribulation lightning was sucked into the crack, disappearing without a trace. Leave it to me, Duan Chong said and immediately leapt into the air. With a crazy wave of his hands, a black vortex appeared above him, and he released all of his power, pouring it all into that black vortex. At this time, the 5 elements tribulation lightning descended once again, and this time, it was even thicker than the previous ones, and the amount was more than the previous one, and it became stronger. Bang 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 bang. Waves of wild thunder roared and struck towards Duan Chong, but all of them poured into the black vortex which Duan Chong had released with all his strength. Chen Shang crawled up and ate a relived Dan. He looked at the complexions of Yun Xiaodao and the others and said, "We have to continue." Duan Chong was indeed strong. The black vortex she had released was as if it had completely cleared up the netherworld. Countless terrifying lightning bolts poured into it, but none of them made a sound. "Hurry and dodge," Duan Chong suddenly roared. Chen Shang, Yun Xiaodao and the rest immediately sensed the qi undulations from underground, and immediately jumped away from the spot they were in. Waves of water like violent lightning shot out from the ground, and one of the terrifying lightning struck a huge boulder that fell from the sky, turning it into powder. "Looks like my previous plan won't work." While Yun Xiaodao was speaking, countless fire bombs shot out from the ground and like vicious cobras, they stared straight at him and flew towards him. Furthermore, countless of them descended from the sky and surrounded him from all directions. In just an instant, Yun Xiaodao was struck by hundreds of lightning bolts, making it impossible for him to escape. Even if he used his fastest speed to dodge, the lightning bolts would still follow him. Yun Xiaodao screamed miserably. At the same time, Zhu Rong, Xv Weilong, Teng Ying, Xiao Chou and the others also let out miserable cries. They were all ambushed by a large number of fire lightning bolts from the heaven and earth. Of course, Chen Shang was also surrounded, but his defense was extremely strong, and the damage received was reduced to the lowest. Even so, his body was in extreme pain, and he had not recovered from the severe injury caused by the 5 elements tribulation lightning. The robbery power did not just descend from the sky, it also came from all directions. It could penetrate space, making it hard for people to guard against it. "Everyone, gather together," Duan Chong shouted, "come to my side right now." Chen Shang and the rest immediately used all their strength to fly up to Duan Chong's side. At the same time, they swallowed a relive Dan. Chen Shang released the profound Wu diamond armor. With the green dragon demon slain broadsword in his hand, the slaughter god's hand appeared, increasing his strength. On the ground, an incomparably large flame bolt suddenly burst forth. With a single glance, one could tell that it was the fusion of thousands of tiny flame bolts. This was because they had all gathered together. Chen Shang dove down, held onto the divine blade, and surged forth with all his strength. He used the Kanglang slash on the thick fire lightning that shot towards him from the ground, causing a tsunami of dragon power to appear. The explosive force was extremely hot, bringing about a wave of heat wave that swept in all directions. Chen Zhang's power was weaker by a level, the hands that held onto the blade were also shaken until they were bleeding, and his body was also struck by hundreds of fire lightning bolts. Only profound Wu diamond armor could defend against it. Chen Shang was responsible for resisting the ground that had come from, Duan Chong was responsible for the top, Yun Xiaodao and the rest of the 6 were responsible for the surrounding, and so they continued like this for more than 2 hours. Other than Duan Chong, Chen Shang and the others were also heavily injured, their faces completely pale white, and they had already eaten several relive danes. This time, the fierce attack of the robbery power caused them to not even have time to breathe as they continuously attacked them. "It's going to become the 5 elements tribulation lightning," Chen Shang said with a serious voice. After that, the 5 elements tribulation lightning came surging from all directions like the previous bolts of lightning, bringing along a heavenly might that seemed to want to destroy everything in the world, as if it was going to destroy the world. In that moment, Chen Shang and the rest of the 8 were enveloped by the beautiful multicolored lightning. The attacks that were striking towards them were like giant waves of roaring waves, crashing onto them, and from the looks of it, they were merely ants within the waves. "Persevere, we can persevere," Chen Shang shouted loudly, the sound of thunder billowing, but his voice was extremely powerful, bringing with it a powerful mental thought, causing Yun Xiaodao and the others' bodies to tremble. They, who could not persevere anymore, the hidden strength in their bodies suddenly exploded, raising their palms, resisting the ruthless 5 elements tribulation lightning. Time passed by bit, and every moment felt like a month had passed. Every moment caused great pain in their bodies, making them feel as if their bodies were about to explode. Duan Chong and the others were in an even more miserable state, the broken bones in their bodies could clearly be seen. Although Chen Shang had the protection of the profound Wu diamond armor, his internal injuries were also extremely severe, and many of his important meridians had already been broken. The feeling of being on the verge of death made him feel like he was in purgatory. They had had countless despairing thoughts in their minds, but in the end, a kind of faith in the depths of their hearts seemed to have an unending stream of power, allowing them to survive the violent lightning tsunami time and time again. As soon as there was time, they immediately ate the relive dan and 2 of them at the same time. This was because the rainbow-colored clouds in the sky had not dispersed, but it had become much dimmer, indicating that the robbery power was dissipating. The rainbow clouds in the sky suddenly contracted, causing Chen Shang and the others' hearts to race. They were worried that some powerful technique or trick would appear. "It's the robbery beast," Duan Chong's voice sank as he immediately ate a piece of the eternal dan. "You can't deal with it, leave it to me." Chen Shang had never heard of robbery beast before, but he did know about it. It was just that right now, she had no contact with Chen Shang, otherwise, the robbery power would be even more terrifying. "How is the robbery beast?" Yun Xiaodao asked. He ate the relive dan and quickly recovered, the exploded bones and flesh on his body slowly grew back. All these relive dan were of high quality, they had the effect of living corpses and bones, if not they would not be so precious, and would not be called the divine pellet for tribulation. Chapter 1007. Duan Chong did not answer Yun Xiaodao's question because there was no longer any need to reply anymore. The rainbow-colored tribulation clouds gathered together, finally forming a massive bull covered in multicolored fire thunder. This bull's body was the same as a normal bull's, and the most terrifying aspect of this bull was its terrifying body of multicolored fire thunder as well as its two seemingly invincible horns. "Does this thing have flesh and blood?" Chen Shang asked. "No, it's formed from the robbery power, but it's very strong, and it has a certain amount of intelligence, and normally it appears in a very strong tribulation, but I can deal with it." Duan Chong waved his hand, and a black mist appeared, condensing into a black curved blade. The rainbow-colored tribulation cloud had already turned into a robbery beast. If they were to kill the robbery beast, they would be considered to have passed through this great tribulation. The robbery beast fire bull ran towards Duan Chong furiously, using its head to ram towards him. Just by running through the air, the bull could split space and even the earth, creating waves of air currents. Duan Chong held a black scimitar in his hand, and with agile movements, he avoided the impact of the cow-like beast and swept past the cow's back. He even slashed at the cow's back, creating a deep mark, causing a burst of colorful lightning energy to gush out from the cow's back. Not only that, he also activated the earth-swallowing art and started to devour the land around him, turning it into energy to speed up his energy consumption. At the same time, he could also drain the power of the heaven thunder purgatory. The robbery beast immediately felt Chen Shang devouring its lightning energy and immediately rushed towards Chen Shang. Duan Chong immediately blocked it and threw the curved blade in his hand towards the robbery beast. When the robbery beast sensed him, it turned its head fiercely and opened its mouth, allowing the blade to enter into its mouth. It then rushed towards Duan Chong. With its foot stepping on the air, it unleashed a terrifying force, showing how furious the robbery beast was. Obviously, Duan Chong had dealt with robbery beast before, so he knew about the habits of these robbery beast. Seeing the robbery beast rush towards him like a bolt of lightning, he avoided it cleverly, and the robbery beast thought that it could crash into Duan Chong. A black curved blade appeared in Duan Chong's hand. It was clearly condensed from energy, but it was extremely terrifying. It easily cut open the robbery beast's back and tore open a hole, allowing the energy to spill out. "Elder Duan is exhausting his energy," Chen Shang said. If his dantian was strong enough, he really wanted to swallow this robbery beast. Now, he had devoured another wave of robbery beast's power, making him feel that his fire dantian could no longer hold it, causing him to stop using the earth-swallowing art. Furthermore, refining the 5 elements heavenly lightning fire was extremely difficult, but if he refined it, he would be able to obtain a very powerful energy. If we can pass through this nirvana doom, we can be considered to have passed through the 5th tribulation, Yun Xiaodao said. "What, I've only transcended 4 tribulations?" Chen Shang was a little surprised. He never thought that Yun Xiaodao's strength would increase so fast. Hee, Yun Xiaodao laughed smugly, but when he thought of Chen Zhang's terrifying fighting strength, he sighed in his heart. "Younger brother Shen, if we were to pass through Nirvana Doom, how do we get out?" Zhu Rong asked. "The space of this heaven thunder purgatory is much weaker now. I thought that I would be able to break it open and teleport us out, but I would have to pay a huge price. Maybe I will destroy one of my treasures," Chen Shang said with a sigh. Luotian Gate were extremely useful objects, and now, he could only sacrifice them. Duan Chong fought with the raging bull. Sometimes he would cut off a horn, but this robbery beast could quickly grow another one. The robbery beast's attacks were extremely terrifying, and it had attacked Chen Shang and the others multiple times, but they were all avoided by Chen Shang and the others. At this time, the flames on the robbery beast's body were becoming weaker and weaker. "Fortunately you devoured a lot of grain force, otherwise this robbery beast would have killed us long ago. This guy doesn't have any arrays on him, his strength is much weaker," Duan Chong said as he weakened the strength of the robbery beast. This required a lot of time, and this was the last remaining robbery power. "Elder Duan, leave it to me, I will refine this fellow into a pill," Chen Shang said hastily. Furthermore, he also released a magic method furnace that could accommodate this cow. "This is not easy, this cow is not easy to deal with. You have to at least make it behave, only then can you concoct pills," Duan Chong said as he shook his head. "Beast trapping technique," Chen Shang shouted in his heart, and the magic method furnace immediately covered the robbery beast, but it was quickly broken by the robbery beast. "It won't be that easy, I'll weaken this guy first." Duan Chong continued to use his scimitar to cut the robbery beast's power out. Chen Shang took a deep breath. "I will try again, I will use my strongest power." Earlier, he only used some divine power to test the beast trapping technique. The beast trapping technique was inside the heavenly alchemy, and it was used to suppress and burn powerful beasts. This time, he used all of his divine power to unleash the beast trapping art. The magic method furnace covered the mad bull that was rushing forward. Following that, a gold light flashed, and the cow smashed into the translucent golden wall of the magic method furnace, causing the magic method furnace to tremble, causing the entire ground to shake as well. Duan Chong, Yun Xiaodao and the others were stunned. They never thought that Chen Shang was really able to control this ferocious robbery beast. What made them excited was that this robbery beast might really turn into a pill. Chen Shang gave a low laugh as a strong wave of heaven fire emerged from his palms. After entering the magic method furnace, he used the method of burning on the heavenly alchemy to make it even more intense, otherwise, it would be difficult to incinerate this robbery beast formed from the heavenly lightning fire robbery power. Duan Chong heaved a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat off his forehead, but he did not slacken his pace, because the robbery beast was still rampaging inside, and with every clash, it would release a powerful force, causing people to be worried that the magic method furnace would be scattered. However, Chen Shang was confident that he could stabilize it, but he exhausted a lot of god power, because the beast trapping technique consumed a lot of god power. Bastard, don't even think about resisting. You wanted to destroy us, but who would have thought that we would end up like this, right? Chen Shang said with a cold smile. Duan Chong and Zhu Rong were speechless. Chen Shang, the crazy pill refiner, had actually refined the robbery power, which was a very heaven-defying action. They felt that since ancient times, only Chen Shang had ever done such a thing. Only Duan Chong knew that Chen Shang was using the heavenly alchemy, able to refine everything in the world. Chen Shang had only grasped a little bit of it now, and it had become so strong. The magic method furnace shone with a rainbow light. The robbery beast no longer charged towards the magic method furnace, and the robbery power on its body started to dissolve. Under Chen Zhang's miraculous refinement, it turned into a pure rainbow energy and rushed into the magic method furnace's head. It looked like the robbery beast would condense into a core very soon. Mother CKER, this is truly a good item. Just a few more will do. Chen Shang could feel how great the five-colored energy was. Do you want it or not? It's time to condense a core, Chen Shang said to Yun Xiaodao and the others. Yun Xiaodao and the others looked at each other, then shook their heads. Duan Chong sighed. This kind of thing is better left for you to eat. We are afraid that we can't take it. Although it looks good, it must be terrifying. Chen Shang did not expect the big foodie Zhu Rong to actually say such nonsense. He split the rainbow swirl into two balls. He planned to give Long Shui one. After all, he had pushed the big milk dragon away from the soul previously, so he had to give her some compensation or something. Chapter 1008. When they saw this scene, many people became worried, because this continued for a very long time, which meant that Chen Shang and the others could very likely pass through Nirvana doom. If Chen Shang did not die, then they would definitely return and fight against the ancient powers. The power of giving is here, it feels a lot. Shouted excitedly. As long as he made a breakthrough, he would be able to obtain the mysterious power of giving. Yun Xiaodao and the others immediately calmed down and refined all of the energy. Chen Shang continued to refine pills as he fused the power of giving into the 5 heaven pellet embryos, forming the shape of the heaven pellet. Hee, there's something good to eat again. Long Shui laughed sweetly, as if she did not remember what she did in Chen Zhang's divine sensi at all. Furthermore, she did not tell Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu about what had happened. Little naughty dragon, when are we going to make a real move again? Chen Shang joked. Humph, Long Shui said. Don't worry, once you have mastered Yulong blood, this dragon emperor will definitely harvest you. After they went through Nirvana doom together, their vitality were greatly injured, but the benefits they received were not small, especially for Yun Xiaodao and the rest. They had broken through multiple times and their cultivation had surpassed Chen Zhang's. Only Duan Chong did not have any gains, because he had went through Nirvana doom long ago, but when he looked at his face, it was filled with a kind smile. After Chen Shang entered the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, he went through 3 stages of Nirvana trials and 4 stages of tribulation. After going through the 3rd tribulation, he was wrong, and was able to use the celestial slain method to fuse with the robbery power, and he even managed to cultivate a heaven pellet ahead of time. During the 4th trial, even though there were many dangers involved, and he was completely tormented by the robbery power, but in the end, they were able to endure through it. These grain force were precious treasures to formation masters. At that time, he had swallowed quite a bit, and it could be said that he had taken away 90% of the grain force within the rainbow-colored tribulation cloud. Chen Shang had previously used the heavenly alchemy to refine pills, so he was already very familiar with the way to refine the robbery beast. Hence, it was very smooth and quickly formed 2 rainbow-colored glittering pellets, which he then immediately gave one to Long Shui, who couldn't wait any longer. After scooping the pellet into his hands, he excitedly licked it a few times before putting it into his mouth. Chen Shang did not eat it immediately. He still had to refine some power of giving and condense the 4th pellet from each beast statue. Inside the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, the sky was still covered in red clouds, which looked lifeless. After the great calamity before, the Heaven Thunder Purgatory's energy had weakened a lot, and her spirit energy had thinned out, causing the space to become much thinner. Chen Shang was confident that he could leave the Heaven Thunder Purgatory after absorbing the power of giving. They were all worried that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would wake up. Such a big thing had happened here, as the master of this place, it was impossible for him not to know about it. However, what made them feel at ease was that even though they had stayed here for half a day, the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord did not make any movements. At the moment, Chen Shang had already completely absorbed the power of giving, so his cultivation method could be completed quickly. But Yun Xiaodao and the others could not do it. They had to cross Nirvana Doom twice in a row. There were a lot of power of giving so Chen Shang reckoned that it would take them at least 10 days to complete it. If we go out now, we won't affect you, right? Chen Shang said. He was worried that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would wake up if he continued to stay. Let's go now. It won't hinder us, said. Xiao Chou and the others nodded immediately. Leaving this damned place was something they wished for the most. Chen Shang looked at Duan Chong and said, Elder Duan, let's go together. Duan Chong looked around at the scarred Heaven Thunder Purgatory, sighed, and nodded. Although the Heaven Thunder Purgatory's space had become a lot weaker now, if he were to open a spatial door, it would definitely cause damage to the Luotian Gate, and if it became serious, it would not be used anymore. He transferred the power of the spatial bead into the Luotian Gate and let the ring on top of it spin, forming a very powerful formation. It fluctuated the space around it, and then opened a spatial door. Don't even think about leaving. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's angry shout came out. Chen Shang saw a yellow-skinned, skinny man with a body like firewood in the distance. He wore a black robe and carried a black gale as he flew towards them at a very fast speed. Hurry up and leave. Leave this place to me. Chen Shang shouted to Duan Chong and the others. Quick, I can deal with him. Chen Zhang's body suddenly released a white mist. The dense dragon aura caused people to tremble. His current dragon power was even more terrifying. It made people feel like he was facing an ancient giant dragon. Yun Xiaodao and the others were hesitating, but Duan Chong's face was filled with determination. It seemed like he did not plan to step into the spatial gate. If I don't leave now, I won't have a chance. If no one can leave by then, I won't die. Chen Shang looked at the Luotian Gate that was cracking open. Dragon subduing school cannot lack you. Chen Shang looked at Duan Chong. That gaze could not help but make Duan Chong's mind tremble, as though he had seen something. Elder Duan, I'm counting on you. Chen Shang replied back, I have profound WU diamond armor on me, you don't have to worry about me. Let's go. Duan Chong clenched his teeth, released a wave of power, and pushed Yun Xiaodao and the others into the dimensional door. In that instant, he also followed them out. At the same time, the disc in Chen Zhang's hands shattered. The Luotian Gate turned into powder, and the angry Heaven Thunder Devil Lord also arrived at the same time. Chen Shang borrowed Long Shui's power to instantly increase his own by a lot, and quickly struck out with a palm, striking the blood-colored ball of light that was brimming with evil and destructive energy. When the palm came in contact with the blood-red light ball, the evil power suddenly exploded, creating a burst of blood-red clouds that covered an area of thousands of meters. Evil energy surged in all directions, and the sound was like thunder. Humph! Let out a cold snort, his body releasing a pure gold light. The devil suppressing holy power cleansed the blood-red evil energy, and even though he was shaken by the power until his hair was in a mess, he still stood there as steady as a mountain. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's originally handsome face had now become the same as Heaven Thunder Purgatory's. It was deathly still, and shriveled and bloodless, looking like a dried-up corpse, which was a bit scary. Chen Shang had refined so many huge mountains and swallowed so much land before that it had even triggered a great calamity and extracted the power of many Heaven Thunder Purgatory, resulting in his current appearance. This was exactly as Chen Shang had speculated before. Heaven Thunder Purgatory and him had a very close relationship. Your strength has regressed a lot. Chen Shang revolved the devil-suppressing holy power in his body, to remove the evil chi that wanted to turn him into an evil being. The main purpose of the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was to use this power to turn him into an evil being. I can still kill you. Originally, I planned to wait for those few brats to absorb the power of giving before making a move. That way, I could obtain a lot of energy. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord said angrily, I will eat you little by little. Although you are the only one left, it seems that your nutrition is sufficient for me to return to my original appearance. Chapter 1009. Chen Shang summoned his green dragon demon-slain broadsword. He had just broken through and his strength had increased by a lot, but the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord in front of him had regressed a lot. He wanted to try and see if he could kill this Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, otherwise, he would not be able to leave this place. Do you think the old man can get out of here? Those little ghosts can do it, but that old guy was cursed by me with his power. I think that when he enters the space gate, he will definitely be sucked into the other chaotic spaces, haha. Chen Shang was immediately enraged. He shouted, Elder Duan, in his heart and slashed towards the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, bringing with him a overflowing devil-suppressing holy power. The divine blade was like an angry golden dragon's roar. At this time, Chen Shang had brought out the complete might of the angry dragon slay. The aura that it had exploded out was like hundreds of angry dragons shaking their heads, bringing with it the power to overturn rivers and seas. This blade was fast and fierce, with the roar of an angry dragon. The previously laughing Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was also stunned, and when that imposing aura enveloped over, he truly felt as if he was facing an angry dragon. You want to kill me? You're still too inexperienced. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord reached out with his devil hands and grabbed the blade edge that carried the divine blade. Although the devil-suppressing holy power on it made Heaven Thunder Devil Lord feel uncomfortable, even to the point of him feeling uncomfortable, but he was strong, and would not be harmed by it. Chen Zhang's fierce and furious slash was suddenly stopped, and was actually blocked by Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. I will definitely kill you. Chen Shang roared. A burst of golden devil-suppressing holy power gushed out of his mouth, forming the word, suppress. Seeing the unfathomable power of the word, suppress, Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's face turned serious. He anxiously let go of Chen Zhang's green dragon demon-slain broadsword and dodged the word, suppress, from the side. The power of the word was too strong, so he did not dare to recklessly block it. But the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord underestimated Chen Zhang's control over the devil-suppressing holy power. The moment he dodged, the word, suppress, was immediately retracted by Chen Shang, and he stepped on the shrinking step, rushing towards the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. Demon, die! Chen Shang suddenly summoned his holy devil-suppressing seal, released his strongest devil-suppressing holy power and poured it into the holy seal, causing it to become like a small mountain, suddenly smashing down from the sky and pressing onto Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body. The huge seal pressed down. It was as if it had wounded the whole land, causing several deep and unfathomable cracks to appear on the ground. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord roared out. He had actually blasted away the holy seal, and leapt into the air. His face was filled with rage, because his head had been smashed so hard that it had caved in. I will cut your flesh off bit by bit. I will not let you die comfortably. The Heaven Thunder Devil Lord said in a sinister and terrifying voice. Suddenly, many black bats appeared in the sky, and like a black cloud, they floated over from all directions, enveloping the entire sky. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord raised one of his arms high up in the air. Countless bats swooped down towards his arm. His arm was like an endless abyss. When the bats came into contact with his arm, their skin and flesh would turn black, just like liquid. Chen Shang released the devil-suppressing holy power, wanting to use the light rays to disperse the bats, but to no avail. Only after that did he realize that these bats were not real bats, but rather, a type of power that could transform into bats. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's skin suddenly turned black, his teeth grew longer, and a pair of bat-like wings appeared on his back. His eyes turned red, making him look extremely evil. The evil chi on his body became even more violent. Even if it was a true martial realm warrior, facing this kind of evil chi, they might immediately lose their mind and go berserk. Chen Shang controlled the holy devil-suppressing seal to release a huge, subduing, word towards the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord who was transforming. With an incomparably divine power, he bombarded it forward, as if he could suppress all the demons in the world. Ha! Heaven Thunder Devil Lord roared, a gush of blood surging out from his mouth, blocking the word, stop, from coming over. Chen Shang frowned. That word, Control had actually been pushed back, and with a grasp of the blade's hilt, the dragon power fused together and flowed into the blade's body. Demonic! Chen Shang shouted, and a golden multicolored light surged out from the palm of the hand holding the blade. It was the energy gushing out from the holy devil suppressing seal in his palm, fusing into the green dragon demon slain broadsword. A golden dragon flew out from the green dragon demon slain broadsword like a golden lightning bolt, and then, its entire body turned into a golden town in the sky, rushing towards the town word that was pushed back. The two town characters overlapped each other, and with an unstoppable momentum, it broke through the blood-colored tide in an instant, and struck towards the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord who was absorbing the power. Boom! The Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was shocked and stopped absorbing the power. A pair of pitch-black gigantic devil claws appeared, as though they were demons from hell, attacking towards the word, dragon. Wah! An intense golden light flashed, illuminating the pitch-black ground shrouded by countless bats. Those bats formed from the evil powers were instantly evolved, even the red clouds that carried an evil aura disappeared. Holy Devil Suppressing Seal, the evil that suppresses the heaven and earth. Ah! Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was furious, one of his arms had been shattered, black blood was flowing out, he had become a demon covered in black blood, it was ugly and hideous, the demonic chi on his body became even denser. Do you think you can kill me like this? Wishful thinking. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord suddenly laughed out wildly, an unending stream of power suddenly flowed into his body from all directions, and the arm that was cut off just now quickly recovered. Chen Zhang's face became gloomy, the power of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory could naturally be absorbed by the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, so it would be extremely difficult for him to kill the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, he could only rely on the power of the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal and Long Shui to hold on, he could not hold on for long. Looks like this is the only way. Chen Zhang's forehead suddenly flashed, and a map of the mountain and ocean appeared behind him. It was a roaring sea, with 10,000 gigantic green mountains in the middle of the sea, and a revolving star passage diagram in the sky. Countless stars emitted rays of destructive light, accompanied by a bright moon. The topography of the ground killing, the heavenly phenomenon of the celestial slain method, and an incomparably dense amount of godly strength were all fused into one. The killing heart was jumping crazily, with almost 10 beats per second. It caused waves of storm-like killing intent to gush out of Chen Zhang's body. The slaughter god's hand appeared in his hands, holding on to the green dragon demon slain broadsword, the devil suppressing holy power fused with the dragon power, causing the holy devil suppressing seal to attack while waiting for the right opportunity. Suddenly, the map of the earth, mountains and seas behind him merged with the star transition map, turning into a beam of light that shot into his body, causing him to gain an incomparably powerful strength. That kind of killing power made even the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, a demon, tremble. Chapter 10:10. Let's go. Chen Shang floated in the air, like an executioner in hell. Although his body had an incomparably monstrous killing intent, he was not evil, and had even made the demons in hell fear him. The imposing divine blade slashed down, as though it was announcing the end of an evil demon. This was a slash that Chen Shang used all his strength to slash. I won't die. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord suddenly burst out into laughter. Just as the divine blade was about to strike him, his body suddenly grew larger, becoming as big as a small mountain. Heaven Thunder Purgatory also instantly shrunk, because Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was currently absorbing Heaven Thunder Purgatory's power. Hiss! Chen Shang gritted his teeth as he resented the scene in his heart. He did not think that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would suddenly become so big, and even devour most of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory's power, causing him to waste such a great opportunity. Haha! Heaven Thunder Devil Lord laughed proudly, you are indeed very strong. If you can reach the level of 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord, you will definitely surpass him, but you won't have that chance. The Heaven Thunder Devil Lord had returned to its original size, and that section of his arm had also merged into the ground. I am invincible in this place. You are now in my body, and you cannot kill me. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's severed arm was born again. This time, it was his turn to counterattack. Give me your killing heart. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord stretched out his black claw as fast as lightning and pierced through Chen Zhang's chest, and even Chen Zhang's profound WU diamond armor s. It could be seen that Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was worried that Chen Shang would be able to block him, so he used his strongest strength. Boom! Chen Zhang's killing heart suddenly exploded, it was not caught by the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. At the same time, a black chi also shot out from Chen Zhang's chest, like a surging volcano, it crazily spurted out. Haha, it's such a pity that I didn't get it, but the feeling of shattering killing heart feels pretty good. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord laughed out loud. Chen Shang could tell that he was just a hair's breadth away from killing the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. Up till now, the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was still just a spent force, and with the support of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, he had already expended a lot of energy. Don't get cocky too early. Chen Shang scooping out a piece of Chaos Fire, this was the only thing he could rely on. Chaos Fire! Heaven Thunder Devil Lord suddenly screamed. He was not afraid, but excited, as his red eyes stared at the Chaos Fire in Chen Zhang's hands, filled with disbelief. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord laughed coldly. You want to use the protective sovereign's light to stop me? Then you're completely wrong. Although you can lock me down, you can't kill me during that period of time. I won't die, haha. Chen Shang felt that his killing heart had been completely destroyed, and was extremely furious. Just as he was about to merge his blood into the Chaos Fire, he suddenly had a very wonderful feeling. Chen Shang was shocked. This kind of call was actually related to the Slaughter God's hand. At this time, the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord also sensed something. When he sensed the aura, his face actually revealed a terrified expression. Chen Shang and Heaven Thunder Devil Lord both suddenly looked towards the sky that was filled with killing intent, because they could clearly feel that the thing was heading their way. A streak of white light suddenly slid down from the sky, looking like a shooting star. Although it was beautiful, it carried a terrifying killing intent, as if it was a falling star. When it fell from the sky, it actually devoured the killing intent produced by Chen Zhang's broken killing heart, and it was even for a few short moments. This is the killing god heart. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's sinister face was filled with fear. He immediately threw a few punches towards the white light. The shadows of his punches were like an ocean, like a gale that swept out, charging straight towards the white light that was emitting a terrifying, killing force. Even though Chen Zhang's killing heart had been broken, he was exceptionally excited at the moment. He could clearly feel that the killing god heart was the other half of White Tiger divine weapon, and when it was borrowed by the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord back then, even the White Tiger found it difficult to retrieve it. Stepping on the shrinking step, he used his fastest speed to rush towards the white light, and the white light actually flew towards him. Chen Shang could clearly see that it was a delicate heart that was like a white jade that had been refined. It looked so pure and holy, but it was precisely this kind of thing that released such a murderous aura that could intimidate the snake god Ox Ghost from the 3 realms. The killing god heart flew over extremely quickly, and actually entered Chen Zhang's chest in an extremely bizarre manner. When it came into contact with the blood inside, it quickly fused with Chen Shang. In that instant, it was as if Chen Shang was reborn. The Slaughter God's hand on his hands released waves after waves of white light, flickering along with the killing god heart that Chen Shang had just merged with. Every time that killing god heart jumped, it seemed to give Chen Shang an extremely powerful strength. Great Void Stellar Seal. Chen Shang bellowed, his hands danced, as though he was holding something, and it was as if he was using all his strength to smash it down. A star formation formed by a large amount of small stars appeared in the sky, and following Chen Zhang's hand gesture, it smashed down fiercely. This small star formation was extremely terrifying. When it fell, it produced a force that could lock onto Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. So when Heaven Thunder Devil Lord dodged as fast as he could, the Great Void Star Seal still appeared on top of Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's head. Bang, 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 the Great Star Seal that suddenly fell down smashed onto Heaven Thunder Devil Lord ruthlessly. It even smashed a deep hole into the ground, as if the earth itself had been smashed through. Its terrifying power caused Chen Shang to sigh in shock. He suspected that the killing god heart might have some insights towards the heaven-earth killing method. Back then, when the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord borrowed the killing god heart from the White Tiger, it was probably to bring out the strongest power of the heaven-earth killing method. You actually got the killing god heart. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's entire body was covered in terrifying purplish black cracks. The flesh on the wound looked extremely disgusting. He had just climbed out of the bottomless pit, and Chen Zhang's move just now had injured him severely. This is all thanks to you. Chen Shang sneered, and once again used the Great Void Star Seal. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord immediately flew towards Chen Shang. He seemed to understand the Great Void Star Seal very well, and thought that if he was to use it, Chen Shang would not be smashed into it, because it would also affect him. However, he did not expect Chen Shang to suddenly disappear, and the Great Void Star Seal to suddenly appear where Chen Shang had disappeared, rushing towards him. Chen Shang had used Shadow Shift to change his position from the Great Void Star Seal. Chapter 10-11. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord never thought that Chen Shang would use this kind of move, to be struck squarely by the Great Void Star Seal. At this moment, not only did his body receive a heavy injury, his body was also suffering the same fate. The Heaven Thunder Purgatory had shrunk by a lot. Right now, it looked like it was only the size of a city, and the remaining Heaven Thunder Purgatories had all been destroyed without a trace, without any signs of life. Most of their energy had been lost, meaning that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord no longer had any energy left to absorb. Chen Shang rushed over from the distance, like a bolt of lightning, waving his green dragon demon-slain broadsword, releasing the profound meaning of the word, suppress, from the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal. The two types of restraining the demon combined to form a huge word, Golden Dragon Town, which was like a treasure mountain smashing down from the sky onto Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body. Ah! The Heaven Thunder Devil Lord shouted in anger, using his withered black claw to break the character, Golden Dragon Town, with all his strength. At the same time, his arm was shattered as black blood was flowing out from his severed arm. If you hadn't exhausted the power of Heaven Thunder Purgatory, I would have already squashed you to death. Don't be too complacent, the only time you can defeat me is when I'm at my weakest. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord suddenly calmed down, giving Chen Shang a bad feeling. There aren't so many ifs in the world. Chen Shang let out a cold shout. The devil-suppressing holy power and the dragon power intersected, forming a terrifying golden white energy. In 2 steps, he arrived in front of Heaven Thunder Devil Lord and waved his fist at Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body. Chen Shang mercilessly punched Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body. With a pair of explosive fists that emitted a violent power, he continued to wreak havoc on Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body, fist after fist. If you hadn't trapped us, you wouldn't have done that. Chen Zhang's fist landed on Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's mouth and shattered his sharp teeth. You can't kill me. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's body suddenly turned into black chi and disappeared into the ground. I will trap you to death, haha. Chen Shang stomped the ground and shattered the huge earthquake. After that, he floated into the air and took out Holy Devil Suppressing Seal, making the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal look like a huge mountain. Then, he controlled the Holy Seal to smash everywhere, causing the air to tremble violently. Every time Chen Shang used his Holy Devil Suppressing Seal to blast out a word, Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would let out a painful cry. I will definitely get my revenge. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord's sinister voice drilled into Chen Zhang's mind. Chen Shang suddenly felt a surge of spatial energy wrap around him. This Heaven Thunder Devil Lord actually wanted to teleport him out. You're only letting me go now. If you're too late, I'll kill you before I leave. Chen Shang made the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal become bigger, enveloping this Heaven Thunder Purgatory that had become very small. If he were to smash it down, the consequences would be unimaginable. Subdue! Chen Shang roared out. The Holy Devil Suppressing Seal shone with a holy light, and when the word Gen landed, it looked like a symbol of devilish extermination. Under this slow pressure, the entire Heaven Thunder Purgatory was trembling, and all the rocks of various sizes were crushed by the pressure. If Chen Shang had not stopped them from leaving earlier, they would not have been able to come out safely. If Chen Shang had entered the spatial gate with them, then the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord would have definitely used his strongest power to shatter the space, and all of them would have died by then. At this moment, the place where they had landed was clearly visible to everyone. However, it was much smaller now. They knew what the size of the whirlpool meant. There were many people watching Heaven Thunder City, especially the White Tiger. He felt something, and it was very shocking, because he didn't expect Chen Shang to be able to fight evenly with the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord inside, and in the end, even seemed to have restrained himself. This vortex is quickly shrinking. Could it be that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord is going to be defeated? What exactly happened inside? Quote, Chen Shang is inside. Maybe he is fighting a great battle with the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. Chen Shang defeated Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. Didn't those old fellows from the ancient powers swear on their hearts that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord had once injured the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord? That is a very powerful existence. How could he be defeated by Chen Shang? Quote, there were many different opinions from the Heaven Thunder City, and many of the big shots of the big powers all stopped what they were doing and anxiously found the best spot. Seeing the change in the Qi tornado, they were most worried about Jiyu Dongchen and the rest, and then the people who said that Chen Shang was definitely going to die. That cyclone disappeared. Someone shouted in alarm. The originally enormous cyclone that covered 10,000 miles began to shrink before, but now it suddenly vanished. The moment the Qi tornado disappeared, a blinding gold light shot out, causing many people to feel pain in their eyes. they only felt a very holy chi attacking them. Following that, the ground started to tremble, and many parts of Heaven Thunder City were shaken to the point that they cracked open. The golden light disappeared, and everyone immediately saw two figures appear in the distance. One was a handsome man with a ferocious green blade, and the other was a sinister-looking Heaven Thunder Devil Lord who was badly mutilated. Those who were able to clearly see this scene were instantly stunned. Chen Shang was really fighting with the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, and was even forcing her to keep the Heaven Thunder Purgatory. This meant that the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was forced into a desperate situation, and even the Heaven Thunder Purgatory was destroyed. The Heaven Thunder Devil Lord gasped for breath, his body was releasing black chi, he kept the last of the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, he increased his strength a bit more, but the situation was not looking good. He suddenly rushed towards Chen Shang like a ghost, at the same time grabbing onto Chen Zhang's chest. He wanted to take out the killing god heart that he was afraid of. Shadow Shifter. Chen Shang immediately used this move to change the position of a huge boulder on the ground. The Black Tortoise Divine Technique also had a shadow-shaped transformation skill, but it was not comparable to the Imperial Dragon race's ability to consume it. Heaven Thunder Devil Lord grabbed the stone, but Chen Shang was already on the ground. A terrifying pressure was suddenly released from high in the sky, and the earth started to shake. S body overflowed with a large amount of devil-suppressing holy power. At this moment, he had fused with the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal, and could be said to be borrowing the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal's power. Although it was extremely harmful to his body, this was the only way he could kill the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord. I only have one last bit of strength left. Long Shui was currently a little weak, and his voice did not have the same kind of anger as before. Chen Shang naturally knew that letting Long Shui consume too much would not even benefit him. It's the last strike. Chen Zhang's voice was heavy. Heaven and Earth Devil Suppression Seal. Chen Shang merged the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal into his own energy and fused it into the Divine Sense Sea, releasing the Divine Power and Devil Suppressing Holy Power, executing the triple killing technique. The power that had been brewing in the sky suddenly turned into a giant town. Golden flames of lightning flashed and coiled around the huge town, while the trembling ground was also torn apart, and a golden town word appeared on the ground. It was as big as a city. At this moment, Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was right in the middle of these two words. He was locked down by a terrifying pressure, and that kind of power seemed to have been formed naturally, specifically restraining the power of the demons. The Demon Empress, who was in the distance, was suppressed extremely badly by the pressure released by those two words. The other demons were no exception. When the two words, town, appeared, it merged together with an extremely quick speed in the blink of an eye. Then the space shook and the two characters, town, and the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord disappeared with a burst of golden light. Long Shui withdrew his power, and the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal also separated from Chen Zhang's body. Chen Shang placed a relive Dan into his mouth, and then fell limply to the ground. He had defeated Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, and the entire place was silent. Chapter 10-12. The fact that Chen Shang had defeated the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord was right in front of them, and before anyone could even discuss about it, a few rays of purple light flashed across the sky, and with a glance, one could tell that it was the people from the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and they were all experts. Chen Shang had killed their leader and the Son of Heaven, so the Purple Moon Imperial Land was definitely going to take down Chen Shang in order to protect his reputation. You want to touch my disciple? No way! Huang Jintian shouted in anger, only to see a black light suddenly chasing after the few experts of Purple Moon Imperial Land. The black light turned into two giant palms, emitting a mysterious and terrifying aura, as if it was about to tear apart the sky. The pair of big hands made a gesture as if it was ripping something apart, when the sky suddenly cracked open, and a terrifying force flew out, striking the Purple Moon Imperial Land warriors. Sky Spill Hand. He instantly arrived beside Chen Shang, grabbed Chen Shang and immediately disappeared. Although there were many people staring at Chen Shang, no one could see his figure. They all assumed that Chen Shang used some kind of secret technique to make himself disappear. Huang Jintian, you covered up Chen Shang, what do you mean by this? Chen Shang had already run away, and what's more, it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity just now. If it wasn't for Huang Jintian stopping them, they might have been able to attack Chen Shang from afar. He's my disciple, how can I watch him being bullied by all of you? You bunch of bastards, do you really think I'm afraid of you? Huang Jintian was really not afraid, his move just now had shocked many people. With three realms talk at the brink of destruction, the people of the Purple Moon Imperial Land did not want to stand against him. They knew that if they angered the super martial school, it was equivalent to becoming enemies with the entire Chen martial continent, and the Chen martial continent had allied themselves with the Peach Blossom Imperial Land. It was said that the Devil Subduing College was also standing on the side of the Chen martial continent. Thus, the Purple Moon Imperial Land could only grit their teeth and endure. In a small hut far away from Heavenly Thunder Chen Shang had already recovered a lot, but his current physique was extremely strong. It was not something that a relived Dan could completely recover. Chen Shang slept soundly. After waking up, he walked out of his room and saw the White Tiger sitting at a wooden table, reading a book. Strange, why would the killing god heart be inside the Heaven Thunder Purgatory? When the White Tiger saw Chen Shang coming out, it asked curiously. Chen Shang never thought that the White Tiger would come out on its own. Looking at this middle-aged man who looked so normal, he suddenly felt fear in his heart, even though he had already obtained the complete White Tiger divine weapon. At that time, I also felt very surprised. Senior did say that the other half of the White Tiger divine weapon was in the Emperor's tomb. Initially, he had felt that the Emperor's tomb was not within the 10 heavenly sacred mountain. However, the White Tiger had said that the Emperor's tomb was within the 10 heavenly sacred mountain and half of the White Tiger was within. Chen Shang now understood why the White Tiger said that the killing god heart would be in Emperor's tomb. It was because this was also the heart of the 10 heavens Supreme Lord. That's why I said it's strange. Looks like I don't really understand some things regarding Qi. Emperor's tomb might not be in the 10 heavenly sacred mountain, or, Emperor's tomb can move. The White Tiger was very mysterious. White Tiger's face suddenly darkened. You brat, why did you use my appearance to trick me earlier? What else have you done with my appearance? Quote. Chen Shang laughed and said, about that, I only used it once, and then I stopped using it. Quote. That's right, what happened to Sister Blue and Yanran? Fortunately, their potential is great. I will do my best to stimulate their potential. The White Tiger did not pursue the matter of Chen Shang pretending to be him and asked curiously, how did you defeat the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord? Although this fellow has been struggling until now, his strength is not worth it at all. Quote. Chen Shang laughed, then told the story to the White Tiger. After hearing it, the White Tiger let out a sigh. In that case, this Heaven Thunder Devil Lord is asking for trouble. However, you have used too much heavenly alchemy. Too much. Chen Shang told the White Tiger what happened because he wanted to see how much the White Tiger knew about the heavenly alchemy. The White Tiger's tone suddenly became very strict. Back then, it was because Qi had used the heavenly alchemy excessively, that was why such a thing happened. You have to use it at your discretion. This is not a joke, because you are equivalent to stealing a lot of heaven's power. This is also why the robbery power was especially strong when crossing Nirvana Doom. Quote. It's fine if you refine some beasts, but if you refine the ocean, the mountain, the sky, and the stars, if you go too far, you will be in deep trouble, and at that time, I won't be able to help you. Chen Shang could hear the words of a god. He had already sensed that there was an existence in the world that could actually make a divine beast of the same level as Bai who become much stronger than him. If even the White Tiger seemed so powerless in front of them, then what about him? Wouldn't that be even smaller? Senior, I have a friend who came out from a dimensional door inside the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, but he... White Tiger immediately understood what was going on and shook his head. I have no other choice after entering the chaotic space. It's very difficult to find him in the chaotic space. The chaotic space there can instantly rush him to who knows where. Duan Chong was not weak, he could only pray that Duan Chong could survive so he could think of a way to leave this chaotic space. I still need to stroll around. I will be in Pill City in a while. At that time, you should be able to find me. The White Tiger said. At that time, you don't have to go to Pill City, you can go to Dragon Subduing City. Chen Shang said. After that, he slowly walked out of the small courtyard and disappeared into the forest. However, Chen Shang had changed his appearance a bit and immediately went to the Heaven Thunder City. Without Blue Ocean Gate, Chen Shang could not cross the space immediately, and could only step on the shrinking step to travel. On the way, Chen Shang asked Long Shui, Little Naughty Dragon, are you better now? Long Shui said in high spirits, It's fine now, I just ate something and I'll be fine. Did you eat something? Chen Shang curled his lips. In his mind, he could already see the big suckling dragon shaking its chest and sitting on the ground, wolfing down a large amount of spirit fruits. Yeah, I can fight another 300 rounds now. Long Shui laughed. Are you going to strip naked and fight me? Chen Shang teased. HMPH, Even if it is, you won't be able to win. Little scoundrel, I'll tell you solemnly, you're just my god, don't be too proud. Even if you truly obtain my body, it would be difficult for you to obtain my heart. Long Shui said seriously. Chen Shang gave a long, oh, before asking, how do I get your heart? Long Shui thought for a while, then said, give me a lot of delicious things, after a while, I might be able to fall for you. Chen Shang laughed. This little gluttonous dragon already couldn't leave him, because he had many good things that he couldn't eat. Chapter 10:13. When Chen Shang arrived at Heaven Thunder City, he quickly found Yun Xiaodao and the others. They had secretly left some signals in the city, which Chen Shang followed to find them. At this time, the Heaven Thunder City was talking about Chen Shang defeating the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, and laughing at all the ancient powers. Back then, those ancient powers said that Chen Shang was dead for sure, and there were even some old fellows who swore that if Chen Shang could return, he would do whatever he wanted, but now, they were all silent and did not talk about those things. Most of the rogue cultivators in the city hated those ancient powers, many of them were initially tricked into it, and were enslaved, robbed, and oppressed. Therefore, those ancient powers were now very unpopular, and a few powerful and prestigious rogue cultivators had already started their secret operations, planning to form a large number of alliances. Chen Shang and the others were in a luxurious room in a hotel, a few of them surrounding a table full of sumptuous dishes, but they had no appetite because Duan Chong had not come back. Old man Duan is very powerful. You all don't have to worry. Sooner or later, he will escape danger. Chen Shang said. With our current strength, compared to the new Imperial Heaven World, we are nothing. Although I can defeat the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord, but that is only through luck. If it was a human old fellow, I might have died a long time ago. Quote. Chen Shang possessed the power and treasures to restrain demons. When dealing with demons, he could cause heavy injuries to demons, but if it was a human, they would be very difficult to deal with. We'll leave after we finish eating. Our dragon subduing city might already be built. Let's go back and take a look. When the time comes, I will let you all receive my training in the dragon subduing school. Chen Shang had already arranged some cultivation plans for Yun Xiaodao and the others, so that they could follow the Earth's core race to cultivate. Chen Shang, Yun Xiaodao and the rest of the six stepped onto the transmission array, left the Heaven Thunder City, and arrived at the Pill City. Then, they walked from the Pill City to the vicinity of the Evil Dragon Graveyard. Our dragon subduing school is inside there. The place that suddenly appeared as the dragon subduing city. Chen Shang pointed to the large black miasma that was seeping out of the evil dragon graveyard. It was released to allow the Earth's core race to safely establish a city. Under the cover of the black miasma, no one dared to step in. Yun Xiaodao said excitedly, haha, in the future, I am going to be Elder Yun. Zhu Rong looked at him in disdain. Don't even think about it, with your little strength, you want to be a mountain opening elder. It's fine if I do it, but just call me Elder Zhu from now on. Quote. Xiao Chou clenched his fist and laughed. I am not the clan elder, I am the one meddling in this mess. I prefer fighting, or being in charge of going out to beat people up, clan elder does not care. I think so too, Tang Ying nodded, although he did not say much, but his entire body was filled with the blood of battle. This is good, the position is not important to me, I can contribute to the dragon subduing school, or if there is something I can do, then it will be fine. XV Weilong slanted his eyes as he looked at Yun Xiaodao and Zhu Rong. I think I can manage the accounts. Lian Mingdong laughed, old Zhu and I will settle the score, why don't you four fight together? They will form four great King Kong. Quote. Xiao Chou said with a serious face, I think we should all have the same hairstyle, for example, all of our heads should be shaved. Yun Xiaodao, Xiao Chou and Tang Ying immediately objected. All three of us have hair, why do you want us to shave our heads just like you? Yun Xiaodao patted Xiao Chou's head, you should have some hair on your head will affect the image of our four great King Kong. Xiao Chou's face was filled with displeasure. Why don't you go and tell Elder Wu that his baldy affected the entire super martial school's image? Alright, let's talk about this later. Chen Shang smiled and stopped them from arguing. The black chi immediately opened up a path for them. After walking a distance, they saw a city that was tightly surrounded by a huge black iron wall. The city gate was also made of black iron, there were two huge dragon heads on the door rings, and on top of the gate there were also two black dragon heads with big mouths, as though they could shoot out an extremely terrifying power at any time to destroy everything. Although it was a bit dark, they could still feel the shock brought about by the city. I suddenly want to become a city lord. Long Shui muttered. Alright, you can stay here as city lord. Chen Shang laughed. No, there's nothing to eat. Long Shui said. I was just speaking casually. Yun Xiaodao and the others looked at the city walls and gates, stunned for a long time. Although it is not as big as Pill City, it will definitely be more lively than Pill City in the future. Zhu Rong said, Pill City is being scolded badly right now, and many people have joined hands to stop buying those expensive pills. If Dragon Subduing City can rise in power and provide enough pills, it will definitely attract a lot of people. Zhu Rong was already a businessman in the first place, and the first time Chen Shang had met him, he had already been tricked by Zhu Rong. That's right, and I'm adding fuel to the fire. I did some small things in the Pill City and made the great pill shop's reputation worse. Now, we only need to open the city. Li Baojun suddenly appeared. He had heard the news about Chen Shang previously, and seeing that Chen Shang was able to return, he felt a lot more at ease. Chen Shang and the others had long known that Li Baojun was a very powerful Dan King. They had a clear understanding of the matters of the Alchemy City Dragon subduing Dan Hall, and they immediately bowed respectfully towards Li Baojun. What about Elder Iron and the others? Chen Shang did not see Earth's core race. He went back a long time ago. Li Baojun walked to the door and the door slowly opened. The interior's layout was the same as that of the Dragon Subduing School, but many buildings had been converted into shops, and there was even a tall and majestic city lord's mansion. Some of the areas were even flat, and after someone rented out the land, they could build their own way. Elder Li, how are you preparing on the pills? Chen Shang asked. It's about time. The alchemists we invited are all very outstanding, and they have given us a lot of help. If we open the city, we can attract many small and medium-sized alchemist powers that have been oppressed by the Dan Alliance, and there are even large alchemy shops. I have investigated all of these. Li Baojun said. Chen Shang nodded. It's been hard on you. Yan Yanran and Lan Lan were no longer there. These things could only be done by Li Baojun alone. The great formation of this city has already been set up, and it is all made by the Earth's core race, and they even use the power of the Dragon Fountain, which is why they are so strong. Li Baojun was also very excited. Now, you only need to control the dragon vein to transfer the energy. At that time, the whole city's spirit energy will be extremely dense. Chapter 10:14. Only Chen Shang was able to control the dragon's vein. Now, Chen Shang brought Yun Xiaodao and the others and entered the depths of the evil dragon graveyard. Coming to the center of the city, they saw a city even grander than the Dragon Subduing City. Yun Xiaodao and the others were deeply shocked. Walked towards the palace that led to the center of the earth. Inside, there was a place where transmission array could enter into the depths of the earth, a place where the dragon veins were buried. Chen Shang came to the center of the earth, and greeted Tai Li and the others. Then, he entered the mouth of the dragon vein and summoned the dragon pearl, controlling the dragon vein to channel its power into the Dragon Subduing City. The formation inside the Dragon Subduing City had long established a connection with the dragon vein. As the dragon vein provided a vast amount of energy, the spirit energy inside the Dragon Subduing City became denser, and all the formations inside were activated. The entire city was filled with a frightening aura. At this time, Chen Shang brought Li Baojun and the others deeper in. Tai Li had already agreed to it earlier, and there were still places below that were beneficial to people's cultivation. The Earth's core race was very strong in itself, and only by eating spar would they grow, and they would do some things here every day to increase their own strength. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to establish so many grand cities so easily. This is a dragon's vein, no wonder that group of fellows were so flustered and exasperated. They know that this kind of good stuff is here, but it's not theirs, Zhu Rong said with a smile as he looked at the gigantic dragon head that the spar had turned into. You guys should learn some skills from Elder Iron. Back then, their ancestors were known as the Steel Lion Army by the side of the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord, Chen Shang said to Yun Xiaodao and the others. Although the Earth's core race was cursed and couldn't see the sun, they didn't throw away their inheritance. Chen Shang guessed that the Earth's core race was the same as the Duan clan, they were proficient in multiple skills. Otherwise, they wouldn't be called the Army of God. The people of the Earth's core race were all very gentle and easy to get along with, and was quickly accepted by the young men of the Earth's core race. Furthermore, they were very surprised that Tang Ying's identity was actually a Kylan Thunder Eagle, which greatly expanded their horizons. They had stayed here for a long time, and it was only because they heard of it that they had not personally seen it. Chen Shang and Li Baojun came to the surface, and started to discuss about the dragon-subduing city. What are your plans regarding the Three Realms talk? There's still more than a month's time, Li Baojun said. Most of the strong and powerful people are currently in the Heaven Thunder City, but there are still many people in the Pill City who want to buy pills. I feel that this will not affect the establishment of the dragon-subduing city. You should arrange for the alchemist and the good people to be there first, and open our shop in the dragon-subduing city, Chen Shang said. I will invite a few people to the Pill City to open a shop. We will mainly take over the middle and high-tier realm, low-tier pills, so that I won't compete with them, Li Baojun said. The high-tier pill market was also very big. Although there were not many people who bought them, the prices were high, and there was no need for so many of them to be refined. Leader, will you appear then? Li Baojun asked. When the time comes, dragon-subduing city will appear again and stabilize, so it won't be that easy for the other forces to take this opportunity to suppress me. Right now, I have provoked another Purple Moon Imperial land, Chen Shang said. I'll leave everything of dragon-subduing city to you. At that time, I'll just watch from the shadows. Earlier, Li Baojun had recruited a lot of alchemists to help him refine pills. He was a Dan King with outstanding skills in alchemy, and would occasionally guide a few alchemists, thus many alchemists respected him greatly. This also allowed Li Baojun to contact some of the smaller forces in the pill business, and the majority of them were currently in Dan City while the majority of them were still alive, because the entire Dan Alliance was suppressing them. Chen Shang headed for the Devil-Subduing College. As the principal, Zhuo Junquan could frequently contact the experts in the Heaven Realm. His own strength was not weak, and he had some prestige in the human realm. I thought you went to the Heaven Thunder City, Chen Shang said as he snuck into Zhuo Junquan's house. Zhuo Junquan was practicing his martial arts in the courtyard. When he saw that Chen Shang had arrived, he was no longer surprised. You have done a lot of things in the Heaven Thunder City, but you will have a lot of trouble in the future. Some people saw that you were fighting with those Heaven Devil Kings using Holy Devil Suppressing Seal. Zhuo Junquan looked at the frowning Chen Shang and continued. The Devil Suppressing Divine Palace above have always been looking for Holy Devil Suppressing Seal, and now that it is in your hands, I'm afraid that they will probably send people down here to ask for it soon. In that case, I want to become your enemy, Chen Shang laughed. Furthermore, I am only managing the entire Devil-Subduing College, so there is no need for me to offend you for them to fight over the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal. Zhuo Junquan laughed. Only by obtaining the Holy Devil Suppressing Seal can you become the Hall Master of the true Devil Suppressing Divine Palace, so you should be the Hall Master of the Devil Suppressing Divine Palace now. I also have to listen to your orders, but those guys up there will not recognize you. Old Zhuo, I told you before that I want to join the Three Realms talk. Do you still remember? Chen Shang came here to let Zhuo Junquan recommend me to join their Three Realms talk. Remember, Zhuo Junquan nodded his head. The sect you belong to has fulfilled the requirements. Chen Shang laughed. Old Zhuo, this sect is not very popular. Don't worry about that, I can still speak up for myself in human realm. Although Devil-Subduing College doesn't have the history of those ancient powers, if we fight, we might not necessarily be weak, Zhuo Junquan asked. Which sect? Dragon-Subduing School. Zhuo Junquan was stunned for a moment, then sucked in a breath of air. It is indeed very unpopular, and many ancient powers are planning to join forces to attack the evil dragon graveyard, and then divide the dragon veins within. Zhuo Junquan was not surprised at all that he had joined the Dragon-Subduing School. Chen Shang had always been fighting against the ancient powers, and the Dragon-Subduing School was also the same. Back then, the Dragon-Subduing Dan Hall had stirred up a huge commotion and offended a lot of powerful forces. Old Zhuo, can you recommend the Dragon-Subduing School to participate? Is the Dragon-Subduing School qualified? I can give you a jade plate, but this jade plate can only allow 3 people to enter the competition, Zhuo Junquan suddenly asked in a low voice. What kind of person is Dragon-Subduing School's leader? It is because I trust you that I trust your leader, and at that time, if we fight, we can't kill any innocent people, no. Chapter 10:15. The outside world agreed that the Dragon-Subduing School was very powerful. Zhuo Junquan was worried that the city would be destroyed or something like that. I promise you, Dragon-Subduing School of the Dragon-Subduing School will definitely not do such heinous things at that time. We are only planning to suggest some ideas that are more useful to the 3 realms. Chen Shang asked in confusion. Elder Zhuo, with that order badge, you can participate, do you not need anything else? No need, this is the recommendation badge, you can take it and enter the auction, although the location is not very good, but it will be enough for you guys to cause trouble, Zuo Junxuan laughed. Zuo Junxuan said, Chen Shang, I would like to ask you about the devil subduing method. Chen Shang nodded. Excuse me. The 10th level, the realm of great perfection. Next, Chen Shang told Zuo Junxuan about the relationship between the 10th floor and the devil suppressing holy power, and also shared some of his experiences in comprehending the 10th floor, allowing Zuo Junxuan to benefit greatly. It had to be known that even the experts above devil suppressing divine palace did not have achievements like Chen Shang when training the devil subduing method, so Zuo Junxuan also thought that it was natural for Chen Shang to have acquired the holy devil suppressing seal. After leaving the devil subduing college, Chen Shang came to Pill City. Li Baojun had already spread the news that the dragon subduing city had been established, and there were still many small and medium-sized shops that had already started packing up, preparing to leave the Pill City. Duan Sanchang was also in Pill City, and he had secretly encouraged many people to leave the city. Right now, the large pill shops in the city covered the entire sky, and the prices of the pills could not even be decided by themselves, there was no meaning in staying. Intestine, there's something I need to tell you. I hope you are mentally prepared. Seeing that Chen Zhang's face was so serious, Duan Sanchang brought Chen Shang to his living quarters. I found your grandfather, Chen Shang said. Duan Sanchang immediately became excited. He obviously knew of the things that Chen Shang had done in the Heaven Thunder Purgatory, so he had always been eagerly awaiting Chen Zhang's return. Now that the Heaven Thunder Purgatory had disappeared, the Heaven Thunder Devil Lord had also been killed by Chen Shang, and Chen Shang had also returned, but his grandfather still had not returned. Your grandpa, Chen Shang told Duan Sanchang what had happened, Elder Duan won't die. He's so strong, so he will definitely be able to return in the future. Duan Sanchang let out a long sigh, I hope so. You don't have to worry about me, everyone in my Duan clan is like this. Chen Shang patted Chen Zhang's shoulders and laughed, Dragon Subduing City will soon crush this Pill City. Let's wait and see. When the time comes, they might even find a reason to attack the Dragon Subduing City. I do want to see how powerful that Elder Tai's array is. Duan Sanchang was not worried at all that the Dragon Subduing City would be attacked. He knew Chen Shang was powerful, even an existence like the White Tiger could hook up with him. A new city was bathed in the sunlight. It was grand, filled with vitality. Many people saw it from afar and couldn't wait to enter the city to take a look, especially the rogue cultivators who wanted to buy pills. They had had enough of the expensive pills in Pill City. Currently, many small and medium-sized shops had already stayed in and started to establish their own shops. There were more than 1,000 of them. These were all things that Li Baojun had tried to recruit over the past few days. Moreover, their foundations were very clean, and he did not collude with any of the ancient powers. If one wanted to open a pill shop in the Dragon Subduing City, they must obtain Li Baojun's permission to do so, so in this way, the ancient powers would be rejected. After all, the Dragon Subduing School was the one who built this city, they could do whatever they wanted. Li Baojun had secretly spoken with the owners of the shops, telling them to lower the price as much as possible to attract more people. As long as they could do this, they would be exempt from paying taxes for a year, since the Dragon Subduing School did not lack spars right now. Because the Dan Fragrance Pure Land had always been cooperating with the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall, the Dan Fragrance Pure Land could also stay here right now, becoming one of the few big shops. This did not affect the small and medium-sized shops, and the high-level pills sold by the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall did not affect the small and medium-sized shops at all. In just a few days, all the small and medium-sized shops that had been suppressed by the Dan Alliance left and moved to the Dragon Subduing City. Although no one knew who the leader of the Evil Dragon Graveyard was and no one knew of the specific situation in the Evil Dragon Graveyard, they all agreed that the Dragon Subduing School was very strong, and also very kind. At the very least, they would not be as powerful and deceitful as the Dan Alliance. The Dan Alliance was currently controlled by the ancient factions, while the majority of the people who bought the pills hated the ancient factions, while the Dragon Subduing School was opposed to the ancient factions. The reason why the Dragon Subduing City was established was obviously to go against the Dan Alliance, so it was very popular with the people. Many rogue cultivators came over to support them, causing the Pill City to become empty. Most of the pills sold by the ancient powers were high-level pills, and these Dragon Subduing Dan Halls had them too. When the Dragon Subduing Dan Hall was in the Pill City, they could also use their own strength to fight against the large pill shops of the entire Dan Alliance. Therefore, right now, none of the large pill shops in the pill city had any interest in them, and the pills in the dragon-subduing Dan Hall were a little cheaper than those in the pill city. The sudden appearance of the dragon-subduing city caught the big shots of the ancient forces off guard. They all went through the transmission array and arrived at the pill city. Seeing an empty huge city, the big heads were furious. Someone actually dared to provoke them. Chen Shang and Duan Sanchang were at the top of a tall building in the dragon-subduing city, looking at the bustling streets below. Now that many of the leaders have left the Dan Alliance, their prestige in the human realm will definitely plummet. After a period of time, we will be able to recruit disciples from the dragon-subduing city, but it must be very strict, Chen Shang said. Duan Sanchang looked towards the direction of the city gate, and suddenly exclaimed, "There's a group of people over there, could it be the old fellows of the Dan Alliance? I wonder what the elder Li will do with them. Hee, why don't we let them change the location of the three realms talk to here?" With so many people here, Chen Shang laughed. Li Baojun immediately received the news. He who was in the city lord's mansion, suddenly shouted, "Dragon-subduing city prohibits flight. If you want to forcibly fly in, you have to bear the consequences." Hearing Li Baojun's words, many people self-consciously landed on the ground. Of course, these self-aware people came to watch the show, and the people who planned to continue flying in were all here to cause trouble. This group of people's faces were all written, "I'm going to fly in, let's see what you can do to me." Chapter 10:16. Long ago, many ancient forces in the Heaven Thunder City were calmly plotting something against the dragon-subduing school. Now that the dragon-subduing city appeared, all of Pill City were destroyed in one go, which accelerated the implementation of this plan. This meant that the ancient forces would make their move against the dragon-subduing school before the three realms talk. For those of the Zudu people, this was a grand show and they could not afford to miss it. They followed behind a large group of giants to watch the great battle that could go down in history. No matter how strong the other forces were, they had no way of snatching it away. At most, they would just say some unfair words and not take action, since the evil dragon graveyard was not a joke after all. The demon empress had almost died because of the evil dragon graveyard. When everyone saw the majestic and imposing dragon-subduing city from afar, they knew why dragon-subduing city could defeat Dan City. That kind of imposing manner, that kind of dense spiritual energy, was something many large cities couldn't even compare to. The people who continued to fly towards the dragon-subduing city were all from Dan Alliance. There were around 10 odd Dan King, 10 odd big shots, and dozens of elders from other powers. Ever since Zhao Yiprofound had taken Zhao Yiprofound as his female slave, the entire White Sea Imperial land had become extremely low profile and secretly developed. Although they would occasionally say a few harsh words to deal with Chen Shang, they basically did not take any action. HMPH, so what if we flew in? Your dragon-subduing school is really too much, disregarding all morals, snatching away our Pill City's business, causing our Pill City to be destroyed in an instant. The guy who spoke was Leaders Wu Shu. Dan Alliance's chief was related to him, so he was very angry, because he had obtained a lot of benefits from Pill City. "Get down here," Li Baojun said angrily as he activated the dragon-subduing city's formation. Instantly, the entire dragon-subduing city trembled slightly, and a dragon's roar sounded as a terrifying pressure filled the skies above the dragon-subduing city. Amongst those floating in the sky above dragon-subduing city, many of the weaker elders were so shaken by the power that their internal organs were shattered and they were forced to the ground by the immense pressure. Only the powerful great leaders and some old fellows were able to resist the terrifying pressure, but they had no choice but to land on the ground. In just an instant, more than half of these people were crippled. This scene made many of the people who came from far away, especially to watch the show, they were shocked. The dragon-subduing school was now even more terrifying. Doing so would undoubtedly anger the ancient powers, and instantly cripple half of the elders. Dragon-subduing city doesn't welcome you all. This group of impolite fellows, I have already warned you before that dragon-subduing city is forbidden from flying. You all didn't listen. This is asking for trouble. All of you get the hell out, Li Baojun said as he activated a powerful array, which could actually teleport this group of people that had fallen outside of dragon-subduing city. There were many great formations in the dragon-subduing city, which could clearly prevent others from flying in, but they had deliberately sent others in, and then used a great formation to cripple more than half of the people. In the end, they had swept them out like they were sweeping away trash. Elder Li is too evil, haha, deliberately allowing this group of arrogant fellows to enter the assessment formation, this group of idiots, Duan Sanchang laughed. Li Baojun had already exited the dragon-subduing city and activated the Great City Barrier Formation. This way, he wouldn't have to worry about the entire dragon-subduing city being destroyed in a fit of rage by that group of people. Dragon-subduing school, you have guts. You will definitely pay the price for what happened today, Wu Shu said angrily as his fist surged with a truly berserk innate chi. Oh, it seems that our dragon-subduing school did not offend you, right? When we established the dragon-subduing city, other people voluntarily came to my place to open a shop, so I am not going to bully others and force them to come in. Li Baojun laughed coldly. What you have done in Dan City has already caused many people to grudge you for a long time, but you cannot keep them here anymore, and now you are blaming us for stealing your business. Ji Yudongshan laughed loudly. What kind of ancient power is this? Aren't they relying on their own strength to bully people all day? As expected of the traitors who betrayed the Ten Heavens Supreme Lord back then, their descendants are all like that. Why didn't you guys get eliminated back then? What a calamity, and 1,000 years of calamity. Junior, shut your dog mouth, Wu Shu shouted angrily at Ji Yudongshan. You dog mouth, a lad, he is insulting you with his words, I allow you to beat him up, you are the leader of the super martial school, how can you be insulted to this extent, you cannot use your fist to get back at him, immediately scram, Huang Jintian stroked his beard and said. Originally, it was just a matter between the dragon-subduing school and an ancient power, but now that the super martial school wanted to intervene, it meant that the super martial school was planning to ally with the dragon-subduing school, but many people did not think that it was unexpected. The powers above the Chen martial continent, they had always been eyeing the ancient powers, thinking that they were all very stubborn, unlike the ancient powers, who had lowered their heads and were not weak, and dared to risk their lives. Ji Yudongshan received Huang Jintian's permission and immediately disappeared, causing everyone to immediately retreat and float to the sky. A battle between such powerful experts was not something to be trifled with. A little super martial school, isn't it just with the support of an undead race? Wu Shu said in a disapproving tone, when this father was dominating the flying immortal school, you still weren't even born yet, you little punk. Ji Yudongshan was indeed a young man in Wu Shu's eyes, but that did not mean that Ji Yudongshan was weaker than him. Ji Yudongshan suddenly appeared and struck out with his palm. His palm was graceful and agile, looking extremely gentle and gentle. It didn't have any power, looking extremely illusory and intangible. HMPH, with just this bit of ability, you still want to teach me a lesson? Wu Shu sneered, the killing intent in his fist surged as he punched towards Ji Yudongshan. Pa, single quote, not knowing why, when Wu Shu's fist struck Ji Yudongshan's body, it directly passed through him and Ji Yudongshan also slapped Wu Shu. As if swatting a fly, Ji Yudongshan was smacked away, landing on the wall of the dragon-subduing city not far away. Not knowing how, Wu Shu's fist passed through Ji Yudongshan's body. The hollow spirits of the ancient spirit race are powerful indeed. They can turn their own body into a hollow spirit, making it hard to injure with blades and spears, Yao Shumai praised. Ji Yudongshan belonged to the ancient spirit clan, and it was not a secret since long ago, but Ji Yudongshan's strength was astonishing, he had actually sent Wu Shu flying with a palm. Wu Shu was still a leader, after all. This is the result of insulting my leader. A lad, come back, if that guy dares to attack again, I will personally teach him a lesson, Huang Jintian said leisurely, then swept his eyes over the big shots of the ancient powers. I heard that you guys have always been against my super martial school, otherwise, use your fists to explain yourself. Chapter 10:17. Just now, a few of their elders were injured by the great array of the dragon-subduing city. There were not many who were still able to participate in the battle, although the leader did not sustain too many injuries, it was not a joke when facing off against Huang Jintian. Wu Shu was extremely furious in his heart, if he had known that Ji Yudongshan had this move, he would not have let so many people get slapped. Although it did not harm his body, it did harm his dignity. Ji Yudongshan's strength was about the same as Wu Shu's. If they fought, it would be hard to determine the victor, but they couldn't fight anymore. Furthermore, the effect of Huang Jintian's attack had already been achieved, and that was to ruthlessly humiliate Flying Immortal School. This way, in the Three Realms Talks territory, their super martial school would not be looked down upon, and would have a certain amount of authority to speak. Huang Jintian, don't push it too far. Wu Shu was like an angry bull as he charged over from afar, stepping out of numerous craters in the ground. Wu Shu was raging, full of killing intent. With a ferocious face, he roared while rushing towards Huang Jintian, his appearance was extremely terrifying. Martial ancestor, you said that you would handle this. Ji Yudongshan suddenly felt a wave of pressure. If he and Wushu were to fight, even if he won, he definitely wouldn't have an easy time. At the most, it would just be a miserable victory. Huang Jintian waved his sleeves, released a wave of energy and pushed both Wu Kaming and Ji Yudongshan, who were beside him, away. At the same time, Wushu's fist came smashing over, the shockwave created fiery red ripples, the power was extremely astonishing but Wushu's strength was still extremely strong. Huang Jintian was calm, he stood where he was without moving, waiting for Wushu's fist to smash down. He held out his 5 fingers, and struck out with a palm, striking the fiery red fist. Bang! The sound was extremely shocking. It was as though dozens of thunderbolts had exploded at the same time, setting off a wave of flames and bringing boiling hot air in all directions, scorching a large patch of land. As the leader, Wushu's strength was already very strong. In that furious strike just now, he had used all of his strength, but Huang Jintian, like Feng Qingyan, calmly received the attack. Huang Jintian's strength had exceeded the imaginations of many people. Wushu is not weak, the reason why he was slapped by Ji Yudongshan earlier was only because he did not expect Ji Yudongshan to train in the void spirit body. If Ji Yudongshan were to fight with him, it would be difficult for him to win, but Huang Jintian seems to have easily received his punch. Huang Jintian has restrained his power inside his body, and after striking out with his palm, there is a force, not like Wushu who is overflowing with fire energy. From this point of view, Huang Jintian is even more powerful, not to mention that Huang Jintian has cultivated the Taiji dragon suppressed Kung Fu and is proficient in the 5 elements, he only used fire just now. Many people were amazed. When the mist surrounding Huang Jintian and Wushu dispersed, everyone was even more shocked. The arm that Wushu punched earlier was actually filled with ice. Just a moment ago, it was clearly 2 extremely terrifying waves of flame energy clashing against each other, but now, Wushu's arm was sealed in ice by a strong ice-cold power, which made many people exclaim in shock. Ka-cha! Wushu's arm that was frozen in ice suddenly shattered, becoming pieces of ice and fell to the ground. His entire arm had disappeared. Huang Jintian! Wushu's face turned pale as he shouted angrily. At the same time, the cold continued to spread from where he had lost an arm to half of his body. Huang Jintian laughed coldly, if you don't want to die, hurry up and expel that cold energy yourself. I have already shown mercy, and will spare your life, whether or not you can survive will all depend on yourself. Wushu's body trembled, and he immediately used his cultivation to dispel the frightening cold energy. But at this moment, a blue glow flashed, and streaked down from the sky, and pierced through Wushu's body. Everyone was shocked. After Wushu's body was penetrated by the blue light, 2 big holes actually appeared on his stomach and chest. The sky pill and the heart in his dantian were both destroyed, and without any power to resist the cold energy, Wushu's body was immediately sealed by ice, which then shattered and turned into a pile of shattered ice, melting on the ground. Who is it? An elder of the Flying Immortal school roared towards the sky, but what responded was a terrifying blue light beam piercing through his forehead. In another instant, the elder from Flying Immortal school was killed. Many people were scared witless. This kind of terrifying attack that was difficult to defend against was very difficult to defend against. Lan Guang, come out. Huang Jintian said lightly. A ray of blue light suddenly flashed across the air. An old man wearing a blue robe with yellow hair hanging loose from his head appeared out of nowhere. The crowd found it difficult to connect this amiable old man with the blue light killer who had just killed the 2 of them. Chen Shang saw this old man from afar and knew that this old man must be Lan Lan's grandfather. If this old man were to find out that Flying Immortal School was bullying Lan Lan, it would definitely be very troublesome. Your master is really amazing, but this old man called Lan Guang is even more amazing. Duan Sanchang's heart was thumping hard when he saw this, he was worried that a blue light would suddenly pierce through his body. That is Lan Lan's grandfather, the patriarch of the blue blood race. Chen Shang laughed. It can be said that they are one of us. Don't misunderstand, I'm not helping you. I'm just settling a personal grudge with them. These guys used to treat my granddaughter like that, but I gave them a quick death, that's already very generous of them. Lan Guang swept his gaze across the remaining elders of the Flying Immortal School, and lightly slapped them with his palm. A few rays of blue light shot out, and instantly pierced through their heads and dantians. The people from Flying Immortal School were all annihilated, and it was not even the Dragon Subduing School who did this. You're so mean. His son lost to Piggy in the past. Huang Jintian chuckled. My granddaughter is still missing. Lan Guangdi's face was a bit ugly. After he finished speaking, he turned into a blue light and shot off in a certain direction, disappearing without a trace. Li Baojun watched on with satisfaction from the side. He did not expect that without even needing to take action, the people of the Flying Immortal School would be annihilated, but the Flying Immortal School's foundation was strong, and it was an ancient power. There would definitely be many substitutes in the Heaven Realm, so it would not be considered as total annihilation of the entire clan, unless the entire Flying Immortal School were completely destroyed, but that would require a considerable amount of strength. Huang Jintian also returned to the crowd. Do you want to keep making trouble? Li Baojun looked at the people of Purple Moon Imperial Land and Qianzan Mountain. They were strong and didn't have any injuries, so they wouldn't go and provoke an old lunatic like Huang Jintian. Hence, no one would help the Dragon Subduing School anymore. The Dragon Subduing School must give us an explanation today. He hurt my people, stole our business, and deliberately discredit the Dan Alliance. Dan Alliance's Alliance Master Yi Heng shouted. Chapter 1018. These guys are really shameless. They clearly didn't do anything. Originally, it would have been difficult for a normal pill city to collapse, but now they were the ones playing with it. Previously, they had clearly been warned not to fly in, but now, they arrogantly flew in and were finally taken down by their great formation like flies. They deserve it. Quote. If he really wanted to be shameless, he would not have done such an outrageous thing in the pill city, much less say such words that would make me blush for him. If he did, he would not have betrayed the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord many years ago. This is the tradition of other people. Quote. Could it be that they have some kind of thick-skinned god technique to train in? Everyone mocked. At this time, there were not many members in Dan Alliance, so when they transferred to Dragon Subduing City, many of them left. Before long, the entire Dan Alliance would disband. Li Baojun said helplessly, negotiating with you shameless fellows is really a very stupid thing to do. With regards to fellows like you, it seems like you can only use your fists to speak. Attack! An old man from the Purple Moon Imperial Land shouted in a low voice. More than 10 Dan Kings and a few experts rushed towards Li Baojun, actually wanting to fight against Li Baojun together. Seeing that, Chen Shang was enraged in his heart, and anxiously sent a sound transmission to Li Baojun, quickly retreat, leave it to me. With a wave of the Kylan fan in Li Baojun's hand, he released a few fiery Qilins, blocking the group of people charging over. After which, he retreated into the Dragon Subduing City and closed the city gates. The 2 dragon heads above the city gates were not for show, but Chen Shang was controlling the power of the dragon veins and pouring it into the 2 black dragon heads. The group from Dan Alliance rushed over. It seemed like they were trying to break the great array of Dragon Subduing City, but when they rushed over, they saw that the 2 dragon heads had suddenly turned and were aiming at them. They immediately thought that these 2 dragon heads might launch terrifying attacks, but it was already too late. Evil dragons roar, go to hell! Chen Shang shouted angrily in his heart, but just as he did so, the 2 black dragon heads released a burst of black chi, which abruptly shot out 2 thick black rays of light. In the blink of an eye, 2 huge black rays of light, carrying the same terrifying aura as the black chi from Evil Dragon Graveyard, enveloped the entire group of Dan Alliance. The black light disappeared. Originally, the group of Dan Alliance had about 30 people, but now, only a dozen people, 8 from Dan King, 3 from Purple Moon Imperial Land and 3 from Xian Xuanshan were left. The rest had all disappeared. Those who were able to survive were not much better off. They were all heavily injured, causing people to be extremely fearful of the 2 black dragon heads of the Dragon Subduing City. 5 from the Dan King died just now, and only 2 from the Purple Moon Imperial Land are left. There is only 1 from the Qianzan Mountain, and that Dan Alliance's chief also lost an arm. This Dragon Subduing School is indeed not easy to mess with, but now it's good. The ancient powers like the Purple Moon Imperial Land will definitely let the experts from the Heaven Realm step in. When that happens, will the Dragon Subduing School have even more powerful methods? The 3 realms talk has not even started, and such a conflict already happened. This is truly unexpected. Just now, this group of people wanted to join hands and tear him to shreds, but they didn't expect that not only was the Dragon Subduing City's defense strong, the attack was also so strong. This made them suddenly think of the records they had read in some ancient books. In the era of the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord, there were also terrifying cities similar to the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. Dragon Subduing School, we are not finished with you. An old man from Purple Moon Imperial Land said coldly. Oh, that is to say, regardless of whether I kill you or not, you will all take revenge. That's good too. I was still hesitating about whether I should kill all of you. You all have given me a very reasonable excuse. Li Baojun waved his Kylan fan, and the 5 colored flames that had turned into many light swords shot out. Like a wave of dense sword rain, they pierced holes into the bodies of the group of people. 5 elements heavenly fire s. This made many experts who were watching from afar emotionally moved. Furthermore, it was released using a fire attribute holy weapon, its power was unimaginable. Don't provoke dragon subduing school in your next life. Li Baojun waved his Kylan fan, conjuring a gust of wind and blew away the group of people whose holes were pierced by the fire swords. The 8 Dan Kings and 3 Innates were smashed into dust by the fan and were blown away by the wind. Sigh, I am just a pill refiner. I don't want to kill nor do I want to fight. You are forcing me to do this. Li Baojun withdrew his Kylan fan and slowly walked into the dragon subduing city. Be careful, he's a heaven realm ranker. The little demon empress, LV Qinlian, suddenly shouted. Li Baojun reacted quickly and immediately sped up, charging into the dragon subduing city. Just as Li Baojun entered the city gate, a streak of scorching purple light turned into a purple phoenix and followed closely behind him. If Li Baojun had been even slightly slower, he would have been struck. The phoenix transformed from purple fire smashed into the great defensive formation of the dragon subduing city, causing the entire city to shake violently, but it was not really a problem. Ling Feng, you are also someone with status. To think that you would be able to deal with a junior whose strength is so much weaker than yours. LV Qinlian said with a tone of ridicule. It seemed that she recognized the person who struck earlier. HMPH, so what? Hearing this voice, he knew it was an old woman. As expected, a purple-robed old woman suddenly appeared at the dragon subduing city's door. This old woman was a bit short. She had a camel's back, and the wrinkles on her face were very frightening. Her eyes were like those of a cat's eyes in the dark night, making one's hair stand on end. She was leaning on a walking stick that was carved with a phoenix. Is that all your dragon subduing city can do? Are you guys not planning to come out and stay in there for the rest of your lives? Ling Feng shouted. At this time, another group of purple-robed elders appeared and stood behind her. One look at them was enough to tell that they were strong experts from the heaven realm. We were a step too late, and all of them died. This dragon subduing school sure has a trick up its sleeve. A white chi suddenly appeared beside Ling Feng and a tall and skinny old man dressed in a white robe appeared. He looked at the gigantic signboard on top of the city gate expressionlessly, and the 3 words, Dragon Subduing School, emitted a very ancient chi. Although it was not an ancient character, it gave off the feeling that this signboard had been there for a very long time. It's a city built by the Iron Lion Army. Ling Feng's expression sank, and said with a serious tone. How could it be them? With the dragon fountain here, and the city built by them, isn't this too much of a coincidence? The old man's expression suddenly changed. Chen Shang paced back and forth inside the city gate tower. These 2 old fellows who suddenly appeared had strength similar to the purple moon that he had killed before. They might even be stronger than that purple moon. Chapter 1019. The old lady and the old man who suddenly appeared were all rankers from the heaven realm. Currently, the space in DTN's body was becoming more and more sturdy, and it would be difficult for him to leave or come down in the future. Therefore, when he appeared here, he had a certain amount of awareness and even planned to stay for a long time. That old man is from the Feng clan. He is a very prestigious clan elder in the heaven realm. His name is Feng Quan, and his strength is very strong, just like that purple moon. Ling Feng is also an elder of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, and a fighter. His strength is even stronger than the purple moon. LV Qinlian told the matter of the 2 to Yao Shumai, Ji Yu Dongchen and the others. Then how is it compared to yours? Yao Shumai asked. They don't dare to attack me, so I can kill them, but that will also cause the Demon Charming Association to have a deep grudge against them. LV Qinlian said. Huang Jintian sent a sound transmission to Chen Shang at the side, telling him the identity of the 2 old fellows inside the dragon subduing city. Amongst this group of people, only he knew the background of the dragon subduing school. However, this dragon subduing school was actually made up of a wet behind the ears brat. He had then coaxed a rather strong Dan King from who knows where and pulled his friends from the super martial school to make up for it. Huang Jintian had to admire Chen Shang from the beginning to end. He had never shown himself in the leader, but had made people think of him as a powerful sect, and this was also because of the dragon bloodline that Chen Shang had obtained. Right now, the defense of the dragon subduing city was very strong, So Huang Jintian was not worried that the two Heaven Realm rankers would be able to break through it. Furthermore, he was looking forward to how Chen Shang would be able to solve this difficult problem, as many people were watching now. Leader, use those two dragon heads and attack them directly. Li Baojun urged as he saw Chen Shang walking around. That won't do. You ran away too unsightly just now and you've already exposed yourself a bit. If we just rely on some array formation or something now, others will be able to see that we have no foundation. Chen Shang suddenly laughed. We cannot use that move again. Those two dragon heads cannot handle the two old fellows, and you can take it all on yourself after seeing the Dan King. Could it be that you are? Li Baojun also laughed. He understood what Chen Shang was trying to do. Then why are you still not making your move? Chen Shang said, I also want to take action now, but there aren't enough people here. The old granny of the Purple Moon Imperial Land has brought a few old men, but there's only an old man from the Feng clan, and if we wait, there might be some from the Flying Immortal School in the Qianzan Mountain. Elder Li, you have to know, if I use the power of the evil dragon graveyard, it will be very difficult for me. Has there been anyone stronger in dragon subduing school who came out to fight? Ling Feng's voice carried incomparable ridicule. I can't be bothered to fight with you guys had already planned to attack me together, and now you guys want to do this, there's no way. I admit that I'm not as strong as you guys, of course, this is only because our leader and great clan elder are out, and when they return, you guys won't even know how you died. Li Baojun replied. What a coward, Feng Quan mocked. It's still better than being despicable, shameless, cheap. Li Baojun laughed coldly. How shameless were your people just now? Everyone present has seen it. Ling Feng was furious, no one had ever dared to talk to her like that. She waved the walking stick in her hand, and the purple phoenix carving on it flickered with a purple light. Purple phoenix cry out loud, flying towards the city gate with a burst of purple flame, as if it could burn the entire city. Boom. However, when Duan Sancheng told the people of the city about the situation outside, it allowed many people to relax. After they found out that the dragon subduing school had the upper hand against many ancient powers, and had even killed all the important figures of the ancient powers, many people were filled with admiration towards the dragon subduing school. Boom, boom, boom. Afterwards, Feng Quan and Ling Feng joined hands and crazily attacked the dragon subduing city, and furthermore, they flew high up in the sky, releasing many purple phoenixes, pouncing towards the dragon subduing city, but they were all blocked by the defensive formation. Only now did Chen Shang feel shocked by the defensive formation, and many people felt the same way, as this level of defensive ability caused many ancient powers to feel powerless. Leader, they are so powerful, if we were to participate in the Three Realms talk, we would be courting death. Li Baojun had seen how powerful the Heaven Realm warriors were. Although they were safe now, they were still scared. Don't worry, our Grand Elder is quite formidable. Chen Shang was not worried at all. At that time, with the white tiger by their side, whoever attacked them would be courting death. Just when Chen Shang was getting impatient to wait, a voice came from the horizon, you two are really fast. Hong Kong, you must have come late on purpose, but your Flying Immortal School S and your bunch of people have all turned to dust. Ling Feng taunted coldly. Everyone knew that this Hong Kong person should be a Flying Immortal School ranker from the Heaven Realm. He was a long-bearded middle-aged man. When he heard Ling Feng's words, he did not get angry, but from his perspective, the Flying Immortal School was as much as they could get. There were no longer any Heaven Realms to call down from there. The most important thing was the Flying Immortal School's foundation, as long as the foundation was still there. Just because he was not angry did not mean that he would not make a move against the dragon subduing school. Right now, the experts at a distance could guess that they were here for the dragon vein, which could only provide spirit chi, but the dragon vein would grow, and in the future, it would become an existence that could turn into spiritual crystal, the immortal jade. The Heaven Realm would place great importance on it. Although they were not the strongest in the Heaven Realm, but they felt that they were more than enough to shock dragon subduing school who came from the mortal realm. After all, they had sent a strong individual from their respective Heaven Realm. Li Baojun anxiously said, Leader, we are almost there. If they were to gather their power and attack, will they break the great array of dragon subduing city? If another 10 come, I won't be afraid. I'm just afraid that they won't come. Chen Shang closed his eyes and began to mobilize the power of the evil dragon graveyard in the distance. That kind of black aura was the most terrifying. You ancient powers have gone too far. Since that is the case, we shall not be courteous. Seeing Chen Shang taking action, Li Baojun immediately shouted coldly. Hearing Li Baojun's voice, everyone became excited. The dragon subduing school was about to make a move. No errors. Permanent address. Chapter 1020. The evil chi protecting the dragon vein was released through a large natural formation, forming a gigantic and terrifying dragon sitting there. It released waves of evil chi, looking like the evil soul of an evil dragon, thus it was named Evil Dragon Graveyard. After Chen Shang fused with the dragon vein, he could control a portion of the dragon fountain's power, but he had not complete control of the evil dragon graveyard, so he could be used to deal with these people who came to cause trouble. The reason why he built this place was so that when there were people who could attack the city in the future, he could borrow the power of the evil dragon graveyard to retreat. Dragon subduing city was still quite a distance away from the evil dragon graveyard, but from afar, they could see that the dragon subduing city was right below the gigantic black dragon head. It made them feel as if the entire evil dragon was protecting the dragon subduing city. Suddenly, the black aura from evil dragon graveyard surged, a deep dragon roar came out, it was as if it came from hell, gloomy and terrifying. Sensing that there was a change in the evil dragon graveyard, all of the experts' faces changed. The giant black dragon made of black chi suddenly moved, the gigantic black dragon in the sky opened its mouth and roared, the entire sky started to tremble, a violent force was pressuring down on the sky, causing the sky to buzz, waves after waves of tremors came from it, the chi was pressuring down from the skies, the might was extremely strong. The two huge eyes of the black dragon flashed with a red glow. Under the scorching sun, that kind of light could dye the entire ground red. The killing intent was extremely strong. Everyone looked at the angry evil dragon in fear, especially the targeted heaven realm rankers. They were so intimidated by the aura that they were unable to move, and the fear in their hearts made them feel extremely powerless. Along with a loud explosion, everyone was shocked, but then a burst of black chi surged out of the dragon's mouth. Shooting out towards the group of people outside the dragon subduing city, it shot out a huge black light, a vast and berserk energy rushed out like a tsunami. In an instant, it struck the ground and caused cracks to appear on the ground. The shock wave created was like a flood, causing the chi waves to surge out, causing the people of those powers to be drowned in the vast and terrifying power. The dragon subduing city was surrounded by the black mist, and within the black mist, there were a few gold lights flashing. The rankers in the sky could see that a few of the rankers from the heaven realm were bleeding from their mouths, and that their bodies were protected by a glittering immortal equipment, allowing them to escape from death. The Feng Quan of Feng Clan, the Hong Kong of Flying Immortal School, and the Ling Feng of Purple Moon Imperial Land, these three extremely strong heaven realm rankers did not die, and they could even protect one of them to follow the old man, but they were all heavily injured. Chen Shang had used up all his energy just now and collapsed to the ground. Although he couldn't kill the three super strong heaven realm rankers, he still killed more than a dozen of them. There were a total of 17 or 18 people sent down by the three forces, and now, there were only 6 people left, which made them very angry. They wanted to destroy the dragon subduing city into ruins. This kind of loss could be said to be very heavy, even if they were to annihilate a force in the heaven realm. At most, a lot of them had been severely injured, but more than 10 people had died today. These people were among the top of the heaven realm's forces. Although they could not be considered experts, they still had some strength, and their status was quite high. Li Baojun hurriedly helped Chen Shang up from the ground, then said loudly, "You guys hurry up and scram, I'll tell you what's up with you later. Don't provoke the dragon subduing school anymore, if not we will definitely remove your foundation in DTN, and keep it to the truth." It was just the defensive power of a city, but it was already this terrifying. Those people from before who wanted to get the attention of dragon subduing school, did not dare to have any other thoughts. Just you wait. Ling Feng was currently in a very sorry state. Their immortal equipment had already been broken. That strike just now was simply too powerful. If their reactions weren't fast, they would have been completely annihilated. After the 3 heaven realms from the Flying Immortal School, Purple Moon Imperial Land and Feng Clan left, the rest also left. In the hearts of many people, the strength of the dragon subduing schools had already far surpassed those of the ancient powers. Even the experts from the 3 ancient powers were unable to shake a city of theirs, let alone the mountain gates of the evil dragon graveyards. Seems like I need to leave a person here to guard the dragon subduing city to prevent myself from being attacked. Chen Shang recovered some of his strength. Although he did not use the power of the evil dragon graveyard too much, the effect of the attack was extremely great, almost exterminating that group of people. After a few hours, the evil chi had dissipated outside. The big doors of the dragon subduing city opened once again. It was a mess outside the city, but the inside of the city was filled with cheers. Duan Sanchang rushed over, and laughed. Those people will not be coming back for a while. If they come again, I will go and dig their graves thoroughly. I need to go into closed-door cultivation for a period of time. If anyone comes to find me, then I'll arrange for him to stay in City Lord's mansion. The White Tiger had said that it would come find Chen Shang before the Three Realms talk. Chen Shang entered the deep dragon vein. After going through the 4 nirvana tribulations and obtaining the killing god heart, he had not been able to calm down and stabilize his cultivation. The last time he had obtained the killing god heart, he had suddenly comprehended the terrifying celestial slain method, the Great Void Star Seal. He believed that the killing god heart might contain the 10 heavens Supreme Lord's insights into the heaven-earth killing method, so he wanted to take a good look at this powerful killing god heart now. What a strong heart. It seemed to have been cultivated through some sort of special method. It could very possibly be the heart of that big white cat, but it doesn't seem to be a real heart at all. Long Shui was suspicious. This heart did not grow in a human's body, but was formed by nature. Naturally formed. Chen Shang shook his head. When I ask White Tiger next time, he should be the clearest about the killing god heart. Chen Shang calmed his heart and peeked inside the killing god heart's body and discovered that it was a vast expanse of white space inside. What he found inconceivable was that the pure white energy inside the killing god heart was actually condensed from killing intent. The killing aura was already quite evil, but it had now become abnormally pure and holy. His mind was immersed in the killing god heart's vast space, and just as he was exploring, he suddenly discovered that inside the killing god heart, a golden light curtain had appeared, as if it had cut off the vast expanse of space. Just as he wanted to rush over, he was blocked by a resistance, and it even caused his entire divine sense C to tremble violently, which gave him a splitting headache. There's something inside this killing god heart. Chen Shang withdrew his spiritual will and gasped for air. It's a very powerful thing. What is that? When your killing heart shattered, the killing god heart was drawn out by that murderous aura. This should be your heart now. What's inside? What can't you see? Long Shui was also very surprised.